Welcome in, everyone. I was just catching up on some last-second news just as the countdown was going there. And we will get into it. A quick change of plans, last minute. First and foremost, though, welcome in. Please do remember to like and subscribe to the channel. It is much appreciated. Keeps the algorithm moving, keeps us known, keeps the good times rolling. So please smash the like, smash the subscribe button, hit the bell, all that jazz. Get into the description. There's all the socials there, the X, the Instagram, and of course our Discord, where most of the fun happens anyways. If you don't know what Discord is, just a fun place to chat, share videos, memes, whatever, everything. Share everything. Even share your screen if you want to. Do a watch along together, if you will. But anyways, let's get into this breaking news. Vincenzo just yelling, Dave, how's it going, Vince? How's it going, everyone? Surprise, baby. You guys still on holidays? It is a Friday still. This is my technical last day of holidays. So let's enjoy it. Let's have some fun. But Francisco Conceição was seen crying going down the tunnel. And now Yildiz is playing in the left wing. So I'm going to assume he picked up some sort of knock in warm-up. There's not a whole lot to go off of here. Maybe something will pop up in the next few moments. Maybe live on the stream. I have no idea. But he was walking down the tunnel. So it's not like an ACL tear or anything like that. I don't know if his dad yelled at him or something and broke his feelings. I really don't know. But yes, it's concerning. Jeff just saying shit. Yeah. It's concerning because in the presser prepping going into this, it was brought up that Yildiz wasn't starting. Well, now Yildiz is starting. Let's get into the FOP mob because I don't know, little shaken, like emotionally, obviously physically in the lineup here. This isn't good. So we'll see. More to follow. So yeah, it hasn't even updated here on FOP mob. It literally just happened. But you have Di Gregorio and Nat McKenny going in for Cambiasso. That happened about yesterday. Cambiasso originally was supposed to start, so he's still not 100%, I'm assuming. Gatti, Kalulu, and Savona. Midfield of Thurlam and Locatelli. Left wing Bangula, Coop in the middle, and then Conceição, now probably Yildiz. I don't know if Yildiz stays on the right. Again, more to follow. We'll find out. And then, of course, Vlahovic. Who else do you put up there? And the 4-3-3 as predicted for Milan. Mike Maignan in net. That sleazebag, Theo Hernandez at left back. Tia Tamore Royale. Midfield of Reinders, Benacer, and Fofana, and an attacking trio of Jimenez, Morata, and Pulisic, who is fresh off of his own injury as well. Okay, so apparently a minor issue in the warm-up. If it was a minor issue, he wouldn't be crying going off onto the bench, though, if you know what I'm saying, right? Like, it's got to be a bit more than minor. It's clearly not. I'd say it's not major, like an ACL, obviously, because he's just walking. He looks okay, but what's going on? And like a knock in warm up. Remember, who was it last time that had the knock in warm up? Was it Dougie that had it, and then just didn't show up for a couple months? Yeah, the lack of squad depth. It's getting bad now, yeah. It really is. I did put out a short too with reference to our last show, if you didn't see that yesterday. I mean, Rigani, he's out of the project. As far as I'm concerned, there isn't really a project at this point because you have so many injuries that the original vision of that project, it's just not there. And I mean, old trope of a saying, if you will. Even the best laid plans don't survive first contact. So if you're just going to say, oh, this is what we're going to do for the rest of the season, this is who we have, no, we're not. We're not good. We are very much injured. And even though we see people healthy, and let's look at it on the bench. Cambiaso, he's apparently not completely healthy. Luiz is apparently not completely healthy. Nico Gonzalez. Timmy Weah was labeled as injured yesterday. How healthy are these guys that are actually on the bench, labeled as healthy? Out of all these guys, this is who's healthy. Pensolio, Pardin, not even Ruhi, because he just got put back onto the list. Fajoli, but apparently we're selling him, or who knows? Haven't heard much. Adric, just because he doesn't play. Although he did pick up a knock early on. Yildiz. So our two backup goalkeepers, the dude we're selling, and Kenan Yildiz. That's who's healthy on the bench. I mean, what do you do? In terms of the starting lineup, we don't know if Coop's 100% healthy yet. I bet you Locatelli's playing with some knocks. Probably even Kalulu and Gatti and Thuram. All those dudes. Vlahovic probably has a lower back pain. It's very concerning. That being said, Milan isn't in a great situation themselves. We can say, oh, woe is me. It doesn't matter. We have to come out and perform. So this is not their preferred lineup. On their bench, they have Lorenzo Torriani and Marco Sportiello, their two keepers. Davide Partesaghi, Davide Calabria, Filippo Terciano, Matteo Gabbia, Stranja Pavlovic as their defenders. And then, I mean, this is a longer bench. Kevin Zoroli, Silvano Vos, Lunas Musa, Shaka Traore, Francesco Camarda, Luka Jovic, and Tammy Abraham. They're missing Cheek, Florenzi, Okafor, Liao, and Chukwueze. So, I mean, who they're missing is a big deal. But they definitely have more of that depth to throw dudes in, especially considering Monday is the final if you go through. It's only 2 days rest. Gio, don't you have your own show to be doing right now? What are you doing over here? Go to your own show. Yeah, we're looking, me and Gio, we're looking at doing something together here. No, I got to go into his chat. We'll do something together. We talked about it yesterday. We didn't plan it out very well. But there's the ability to stream, like do one stream that goes out to both channels. So we're gonna try doing that one day. If not, like the next game. Soon. We're gonna do it soon. Stay tuned. It's January. We're doing crazy things. Starting putting new graphics. I'm gonna do a new intro. I never liked the intro. That was just like, I need something now. These players are bitches. Rub some dirt on it, baby. It seems that way. What's the problem we've been talking about here? It's not even a Allegri thing. Allegedly, it's not, because it's a Mata thing now. Allegri had fired all the medical staff and got new ones. It's got to be something else. I blame the sports bras these guys wear. Like Bernadeschi. Bernadeschi definitely rocks the sports bra. Which one of these guys do? I think Yildiz might. But I never understand the sports bra. I thought maybe if they had like heart rate sensors or something, it was just like to keep things put together. I sort of understand that, but like just a straight up sports bra. I know what they do for a woman. Makes sense. I understand it. Am I missing something? Dino Muhamedovic. Sorry if I said that wrong, but I think it's also a new name. I haven't seen it too often, so welcome in. Last player to get injured before a game was Douglas. Yeah, okay, it was Dougie, and he was out for 2 months. Yeah, there you go. It was Dougie. There's so many injuries. It's sometimes hard to keep track of them all coming and going. Even so, what's the bra shape? I'd rather die. I can't give you anything, man. I don't know myself. Let's look it up. I'm looking it up. What is the man's sports bra? It's a wearable device that contains a tracking device to monitor players' performance in sports. Okay, so there are electronics in it. That makes sense. Okay. Not gonna get too worked up over it. Okay, let's get back up into the FOT mob. Conceição, Sergio, first time ever for Milan, so that's interesting. Mata under heavy criticism. His cryptic pressers. He's just kind of beating around the old bush there. Okay, what do we do? Have Yildiz on the left, Bangula's going on the right. That has been confirmed now. So we're in Saudi Arabia, Riyadh. It's actually not bad. It's only, it's 9 degrees there, which is decent for January, I guess. The desert does get cool at night. All right, Jeff's piecing out until the half. Enjoy the match. And our Andrea Colombo is the match official. I'm starting to recognize all the refs now. He's definitely not one of the hated ones, so that's okay. And we're just confirming as well if there's any last-minute changes. 4-2-3-1 for Milan. Okay, so there's a change up for Milan as well. They're going to a 4-2-3-1. Nothing. I guess nothing is sacred. It's the Supercoppa. They're in Saudi Arabia. They're like, screw it, I'm going to do what we want. Also of note, Sergio Conceição, although his son walked off to the tunnel crying, apparently he's got some sort of flu. He's got a fever. Guy's sweating out there. So what's going on there? Picking up a flu flying in. Maybe it was all the, like to blame the airlines, the airports, and the planes and all that. Maybe he picks something up on the flight in. He came from Portugal. He's flying all over the place. Okay, it's about time to get the old scoreboard up. What do you guys say? All right. Get the time up here. We'll get some syncs going. About ready to kick off. Juve will... they're the home team. They're kicking off first here. The stadium of Al Nasser, the old Ronaldo stadium. Yeah, there's a little chill. Vlahovic is rubbing his hands. Crisp air tonight. I don't know if you guys have ever been out in the desert, but yeah, what's once it gets cold, once the sun sets, especially like this time of year, yeah, it gets pretty chilly. And we have kickoff. Here we go. My prediction yesterday, I think we agreed on 1-0. But now there's a formation change. So Dash was saying terror ball by Conceição. But with a matched up formation again, we've kind of seen these games locked down pretty hard. So early throw-in for Savona. Telling the team to calm down instantly. I think he's already sensing a bit of the anxiousness. Jeez, Vlahovic comes back to get the ball and he trips it up. It's kind of funny. But coming back on defense. Now they're throwing. 3 of them quick. They're showing that he's won the Supercup in Spain and France, Mata, if that matters. He's a coach now. This game hasn't had any open play at all yet. It's another throw-in. Maybe it will be terror ball today. Too early to tell. But change of lineups, formations, players, everything. Both teams last minute. Who knows what we're getting? And both teams, it should be noted, they're not doing well this year. Neither one of us, very unlikely to win the Scudetto. Likelihood of the Champions League, obviously, that's tougher, maybe. Super tough regardless. This is the cup that they can win. This and the Coppa Italia. These are the cups that they can actually win, these teams. So, like, more so than Inter. Inter obviously beaten Atalanta yesterday 2-0. They're going through. That game's on Monday. Chip over the top. Bangula has to see that one go out of bounds. So you can see they are trying to do the over the top scenario again. I mean, it's Milan. The defense is good. This is a good team, right? They're gonna drop her down, keep her tight. Conceição. This is his first match. She's not gonna go out swinging, I don't think, completely. Play a little conservatively early on just to feel things out. That ball looked out too. Yeah, it was another throw in this time for Milan. This is chippy. Vlahovic running on, can't get on it though. Working defensively, getting the foul though. He's just just yanking Theon down. Oh, he's fired up. Oh man, what's going on? My stream's just okay. No, it's back. We're back. So worried there for a second. Had the whole Fubo scream come up on me. How about Murata? Another ex-striker score on us today? What do you guys say? 2 balls in play now. They sort things out. They're getting after it. It's Milan finally kicking it around. First little spell of possession here for Milan. They're trying to come up right through the center. Kalulu gets a foot on it. It's blocked out. A bit of space was opening there for him, though. Vlahovic laying off to absolutely nobody, and it's back to Milan. He's checking back. Wins it. Like, Vlahovic is... I don't know. I don't know what he's on. He's on something. We'll see if he can actually channel that into something tonight, but he's fired up. Maybe they're getting some of the special food treatment over there in Saudi Arabia. Eating like princes. Juve trying to put the press on, but Milan doing well at the moment to maintain control, slow that pace down, and just work it up at their own time. Milan does seem the calmer of the two teams currently. It's as if Juve have something to prove. And I say that because it's not that I don't appreciate the energy that they're putting in. But it's almost as if it's wasted energy right now. As Milan coming on an attack, curling in. McKennie's there to head it. And Di Gregorio just pushes it off over the top of his net out of bounds. It's going to be a corner. Yeah, a little shaky. There's Sergio now. He's sitting on a Gatorade box. We have the prime boxes, the coolers. Sorry. We're fancier. But yeah, he's apparently not feeling well. It's taken short. And that's out of play again. This is just no flow. No flow yet. It continues to go out of bound throws now. 2 corners in a row. I don't even know where the ball is right now. Like, I'm just scanning my screens. Like, do they not have a ball? Like, what's going on? There we go. And they take it short again. Finally found a ball to play with. And it's going. No. Yildiz does well. Doesn't go out. He keeps it in, but they have to clear the line now. Pressure's on. They switch off to Locatelli. Dangerous spot. Coop has it. 2-man on. He has to pull it back. Locatelli is under pressure. Juve need to get this out. And Savona's tripped up by Morata. That takes the pressure off. Just a bad old striker's challenge. Slips him up. Locatelli brings it back to Kalulu. And he starts to run it up. So Juve clearly attack-minded when they do have the ball. They do want to move it forward. It's a matter of they can string things together as they go over the top here. Dropping to Yildiz. Good control. He's held back, though, looking for the space, curling it in. Nice curl. Almost makes some contact, but there's too much traffic. McKennie's there to bring it back in. And it's out for another throw. Good look by Yildiz. That curl in was looking sexy. That was a very nice shape to it. Just didn't land. Defended well. At least 2 defenders and 2 attackers going at it. So is Juve, though, still doing well to retain this control now. Looking forward again. Very active. Bangula almost gets tripped up, maintains the control, gives it back to Coop. And that kind of movement isn't bad when they're trying to press onto you and they trip you up, kind of like what Morata did there. If you can keep that kind of movement and keep on drawing those fouls. Ooh, Bangula loses his man. He gets the throw in, though. So doing all right. Bangula's got good pace there today on the left. Third arm pushes it forward to Vlahovic. Here we go. Oh, he's defended well. Oh, wow. That was honestly just solid defense on Vlahovic there. Thiaw puts his body in the way. Doesn't give Vlahovic any space. Just chipped beautifully to him. But as Vlahovic takes it off down his foot, it gives Thiaw just enough time to walk in there, get his body in the way. Man, it was a good look. There wasn't a whole lot, really, Vlahovic could have done there. Pressure still on. Juve pressing high. It's now Milan who has to worry, like down deep, trying to get out of danger here. Juve still with it. So both teams looking a little bit shaky at times, a little unsettled. But then at times they also look calm and sorted out. First 10 minutes, I honestly don't really have a proper feeling of this game yet. Almost given away here. McKennie loses it off on a throw-in, but saves the counterattack. But wins it back. Yeah, I don't know if any of you guys are having that feeling where there's just this unsettledness to it, and then I don't know. I feel unsettled as a result, I suppose, is what it is, right? Like, it seems cagey. Both teams are a little shaky. Like, it can go either way. It's like it's teetering right now. I mean, two teams that are performing similarly this year in a lot of ways. Underperforming, injury prone. Good win back. Here's Vlahovic on a turn. And I think that was a clean tackle from behind because he trips over the ball back in Milan's possession, but McKennie comes in sliding and he denies that from Milan's. Bangula pushes up. What a run. What a chip forward. He gets back on it. Great work by Bangula. He's still on it. Gets it into Vlahovic, who gives it up. Coop gets a hand up in it's Benacer's face. Sorry. Yeah, just little too aggressive. Pulls him back. Yeah, that was a very clean tackle. Man, they are all over Vlahovic. So we need some movement is what we need. Bangula, great movement bursting down the left flank, but it's very like down the touchline, up and down. He doesn't have like as soon as he starts cutting in, he loses that speed. He doesn't have that lateral movement so much that Chico would have been able to give. Yildiz hasn't really been released too much. He's had that one nice curl into the box. But what we need is either nice turnaround here. Bangula has it. Another stolen ball in the defensive midfield. And it's stripped off Bangula as he's trying to dribble around. He gets it back, though. He's all over the place. Bangula doing well. Loses it again, though. He just can't take off the second guy. And getting tight down in the box of Milan. And they go again. Here's Bangula. Thuram. Curls it in, heads it off, trying to get it to yield is a bit too far. It's a goal kick. So what I was going, I mean, that passage of play wasn't bad either. Going over the top, of course, is a route. But they're overload the defending on Doosan at the moment. The threats, they need more threats in the box, essentially. Yildiz has to get in there a little tighter. A run in by Thuram or Coop, just taking the defenders off. And I think that gives Vlahovic just enough space. And a miscontrolled ball again going out of bounds. High-paced game, at least. It's not too boring. Another turnover. As in, it's one of those as a neutral. It's exciting, but both teams leaving a little bit to be desired. It's keeping the game open at the moment. Juve doing well to kick the ball around. Overall, I think Juve, not looking at the stats at the moment, just the eye test, seem a little bit more controlled, a little more focused, more possession, more balls into the box. They've just looked better overall. McKennie off to Bangula. Low cross, can't make it. Cleared off, throw in. Bengals looked really good so far today. Like, very impressive match so far. 15 minutes. Hopefully, you can keep this up. Yeah, and the commentator now, too, is just saying an interesting first 15 minutes. Yeah, it's like we're missing the adjective to really describe the feeling of this first half. It's just interesting right now. Man, they got to control the balls that are coming in. There's 2 balls on the field again. Misplayed throw in. Milan kick it all the way back. Di Gregorio has to collect. Juve just pushed back into their defensive line now. Good passing. They move it off to McKennie. Get it about halfway up the pitch now. Being very methodical right now. Milan's doing well to cover. And Di Gregorio with an odd misplaced pass out to Coop, and it goes straight out of bounds. They're just playing each other's own strategy, it seems, at the moment. So there's no real space. They're kind of all matched up to each other. All negating each other's tactics. We'll see if anybody can break this down. It's gonna need one of those little openings, mistakes, moments of brilliance. It is Milan, though, now back line, trying to find some space to bring it forward, as Juve are doing the exact same thing. Hernandez now moving it upfield. And there's a ball in. Kalulu crossing out, cleared off the line here. Coop has it, gets it not to Bangula, gets it into his back heel. And it's Milan again looking for another attack. Similar looking though, like I've said, it's the same team against each other. And there was an offside there in the play. And it's Morata, of course, just gets his shoulder leading into it. If you remember when he was with us, the Morata offsides. And we're all still wondering why we didn't bring him back this summer. So we're still searching for a striker. Yeah, a lot of question marks here with the squad depth, the transfer market. Just reading news right up to the last, right in the countdown as things were popping in. Things should be quiet during the game. But 'tis the season. All the silliness. Of course, Tutto Sport, Corriere dello Sport, their headlines are as flamboyant as ever, and can't really trust anything they say. Nicolo Shera's been pretty active in the transfer news so far. Romano, of course, as always. And now Pulisic takes down his compatriot. McKennie gets tripped up. No cards yet. I was hoping for Way as well. Hopefully he makes an appearance. Get all the Americans going. Tomori, the Canadian. He can dual citizenship, anyways, English and Canadian. I'm pretty sure he only took the English citizenship to play. Oh, nice new ball. Yildiz. Yo, whoa, yes, that was a beautiful goal. He goes on the close side and puts it, tucks it up in that corner. Out of nowhere, the through ball to Yildiz. He looks long. He takes it short and shoves it past Magnion. That was, the brilliance from Yildiz once again. 1-0. Juve up. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, that's what I like to see. So it is Bangula that cuts in centrally this time. What a pass. Splits the defense. Wow. And that was not an easy shot at that angle. You have to absolutely put a rocket engine behind that ball. And Magnion gets his fingers on it. But there's No stopping that velocity. That goes right through it. But Bangula as well, just cutting in, finding that space in the midfield as the wings are clogged up, and just launching just a precision pass through the defensive line straight to Yildiz. Magnificent. That's what I love to see. And that's Yildiz coming in for Chico minutes before the game starts. Put in, not even in his position, on the right wing. And as maybe as raw as Yildiz may still be as a young attacker, the not a quite finished gem. It's moments like that where you realize that yes, absolutely, this kid has it. And sure, there's still a little bit of work to do, but man, gives you something to look forward to. And yes, I didn't want to bring it up. Someone teach Doosan that kind of strike. Doosan can't do the one-on-ones. That's the thing. You need Chico, Nico, Yildiz to go one-on-one. Doosan, I don't know. You need him to take a shot from 30 feet or something. It's a funny one. Interesting, too, with Sergio Conceição on the Milan bench. His son now not playing. I wonder how that feels for him that the replacement is now the guy that's put his team behind. I wonder if that plays mentally with the Conceição at all at this point. Both of them, even as Chico's on the bench, and is like, I'm sure Chico's happy for Yildiz. He's probably not too upset. Over the top again, too heavy now for Flavic. But they're still peeking. Still looking through the lanes. Somebody teach Doosan how to have a first touch. Yeah, that's in agreement. That's probably the way to start. Supercup wins. Juve 9, Inter 8, Milan 7, Lazio 5, Napoli Roma 2. That's that coming up on the screen. So Inter can't win it this year, basically. And I hate to say it, that Inter is probably the best poised team to win it this year because they have the squad depth and they have the form. However, Thuram, who has given most of their offensive output I shouldn't say most. Changalolu he's been on fire too. Don't want to take that away from him, but Thuram coming off injured. Coop stealing the ball, danger spot. Milan making more mistakes. They recover, but that is not looking good, and a wasted pass back to Juve. So Milan a little rattled now. The question remains, Juve, they have just got up 1-0. Do they fall asleep? Or do they kill, get some balls over the top? Yildiz running on. Can't make it. Whistle on the play. Not quite sure what the call was. Goes Milan way. Master G coming in saying, yo, what's up, everyone? What's going on, Master G? Thanks for joining in. Dal saying, Kanan on right. How was the goal? Oh, you missed it? Well, don't let me ruin it for you. That's one of those that you watch again. And that's to say it was nice. I'll tell you how nice. You're just going to have to look through. I'm battling. Man, Milan, like, ugly. No, that was clean. That was clean. Oh, man. Let's look at this again. Let's see how clean it was. He goes between the legs. That's, yeah. I mean, he got the ball. It's a little tight. That would have put us in a very good position for an attack. I don't know. He definitely got the ball. He got a bit of the play where he went between the legs. That was probably the kicker. Frankie coming in saying hello. Hello, everyone. I'm assuming he just looked at the goal again. You also missed the... Well, go get the replay, man. You got to watch the goal. Getting back from a meeting. Turn around again. Coop doing well to strip the ball in the midfield. And it's back Juve's way. Thuram looking again. Thuram Bangula linking up a lot. And I'm loving it. He curls it in. And Coop flicks it on a little high. Hard technique. Back to goal. And it goes to Magnan. Yeah, Frankie, definitely get on the replays. At the half, I'll try to see if anything's up on X. Get some clips for you. Definitely look at that one again when we have a chance. Magnan very slow to play this. Brings it out to Hernandez. That was actually a nice little kick over to him. Lofts it over. Right to the chest. Benacer under a lot of pressure again. Coop is just buzzing around. He's got Vlahovic there. Once in a while, Thuram, Bangula, Yildiz, they're all kind of getting up in their face. This is good. If you can just keep them rattled as well, Milan. Another throw-in quickly taken by Milan. Tons of throw-ins this half. It's disjointed. It's calmed a bit down on the Juve side. Milan's still trying to get their stride. Jimenez now cutting in, curling in. Cleared off the line by Agati. It's going to be a corner. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. Get into the socials. Everything's down in the description. Join the live chat as well. Let me hear what you think. Get involved. And I read pretty much everyone's comments, so we'll get through them all. Pulisic now. Royale bringing it out wide. Milan is looking. I think they're going to curl in, and they do, but it's Vlahovic there to clear it. Milan pretty much playing their hand as they brought it out to the top of the... Yeah, to kind of like the top corner a few yards out. Everyone just dropped into the box, and you saw them wind up for the curl, and it was very easy to defend. You can't play your cards that easily. Have to be a little bit quicker on the play. But Milan still do have it. Push back to the halfway point. Murata getting it, though, in an advanced position. Back heels it in, and it's taken off by Gat. He's now charging up the field. It gets slowed up a little bit. Has to drop back now. Yildiz looks like he's gassed. It's not a good look. Probably why he wasn't going to start today. Hopefully Chico is well enough to play some minutes. I don't know. You got Nico. I don't know if Weah has enough in him. This is going to be the interesting part. As I mentioned in the pregame portion, it's our bench that's going to be concerning. Which is why it's important to kill games. You get that second goal, you get that buffer. And then you can settle down, control the game, and preserve energy. The ball is going every which direction. It's still Juve's. They're really smashing the ball around on the passes. Makes it hard to control. But it is Juve finally coming out of it. Impressive sometimes how they just smash the ball around and maintain some control with it. The rest of us would just bobble it around. Bangula with it. Curling. Oh, he gets held up this time as he tries to cut. This time it's McKennie, slides in, but gets a foul. Well, who was it? Was that Benacer that was down on the ground? Okay, yeah, that was a foul on Benacer, of course. He looks pretty tired himself. If you're watching the feed now, it is replaying the goal. Yeah, it's just as good as you can really get. Like try to critique that play. Real, it was nice. It was beautiful. Bangula putting pressure on. Man, with Bangula and Thuram on that left wing, that's a lot of muscle that's in the way. And Milan are having a hard time breaking through that with Benacer, Pulisic, and Royale. It's not working out great, and I'm loving that strength play by Juve. These are guys that aren't really getting banged up quite as much, right? They're the grinta. Some of these players do have some grinta. Nice by Savona. Oh, Yildiz can't quite control it, but it was a one-touch lob over the defense to Yildiz. Just like a rainbow arch over to him. It was, I mean, for a one-touch like that, coming from behind and an angle to him to redirect that definitely was quite a little bit of skill by Savona. It is Milan now looking for answers. Juve don't decide to press on this time. They're sitting back a little bit. Milan are pushing up into an attack now. Jimenez just gets pushed over by Locatelli. That's a foul. Forgot to mention too. I mean, it's not really news unless I guess you had doubts of who the captain would be. Royale curling in. Interesting shape. It's pushed out for a throw. But yeah, Locatelli as the captain. With Danilo pretty much out of the project now. I think we all kind of saw that one coming. Of course, Danilo's still on the team. They're not gonna make an official kind of change of captain just yet. I don't think they'll wait for everything to go through, but for all intents and purposes, it is Locatelli right now. So Milan with the dead ball right now. Decent position off the corner of the box, that is. Juve have let these ones leak through. Benacer, lays it off. This is given back to Benacer, who curls it. Pulisic at the top of the box. It's still up in the air. Ball has not settled down. And it is Milan that maintain control, but all the way back to the defense. And this is when, as a Juve fan, you start to get worried because you're up 1-0, a few minutes left in the half, and you're starting to let the other team get some possession. Themes have been developed over the course of the season, and this is one of them. Conceding late into the half after going up. We did it twice last game. But it is Juve now looking to get forward. What happened there? Benacer goes down. His finger? That's a weird one. Let's look at this again. So Coop has the ball. Benacer goes in for a lunge. Kicks the ball out of bounds. Oh, there it is. He gets his head down, and just as Koopmeiners flicks his leg back, just to follow through on his run, his cleats go up into Benacer's face. And that is actually quite painful. He screamed as he went down. I don't know if he's going to need stitches. I can't see if he's bleeding. Probably not, just judging by the reaction of everyone here. Quite the knock in the face, I think, just over the brow. No, I think that's a bit of a knock, man. Getting cleats in the face, that's going to rattle you. And I'm guilty of that. Like when I first get hit or like stub my toe or whatever, I'm like, like I'll yell, and then I'll take a step back. I'm like, okay, no, that's not so bad. I kind of overreacted. But in the moment, especially when you're playing sports, you're exasperated already, adrenaline, all that stuff. It sometimes makes it a little more theatrical, I suppose. Nice feed up to Yildiz down the wing. He curls it in. Does it make it? It's cleared off for a corner. Royale, the last man back, was there. Lots of space. It was a bit of a rush play for Yildiz to try to make something of it, but just puts it into the box. Yeah. I mean, you on the corner, trying to create some action on the break. I can't fault him too much for that decision, I don't think. See what Coop does here. Taking it, curling it in. It's dropping. Not nicely, though. Yildiz gets on this. Working down on the wings. He gets pushed over. Oh, and he overplays it through his feet and loses it through a throw. And I thought he was going to pick up a bit of an advantage there on the play with a foul. It didn't look like it was. You do that in rugby, you're getting knocked out. Like if you're saying if you scream or like go down in rugby, or are you saying if you cleat a guy in rugby? Because I can see if you intentionally cleat a guy in rugby, you're going to get knocked out as well. But if you act like a complete bitch in rugby, it's not going to be taken lightly either. But yeah, cleats to like that upper brow area, it's fairly sensitive. And it kind of like resonates through your skull. That is a painful area. I'm not going to throw too much shade on Benacer. You know when I get upset when they act like a bunch of bitches. I'll give Benacer a pass on that one. But he's probably not going to get too many of them. Yeah, Del says I'll be above, of course. Because Benacer was like falling down, right? Like he was falling down as the foot was coming up. It was pretty heavy impact. Like in rugby, you probably would have had a bit of padding right in that area, I would imagine. Milan, though, finding a bit of possession on the edge of the box now. Curling it in. Not a clean clear. Yildiz has it, though. Getting too cute in the box there. You just got to boot it out. But Vlahovic backtracks into the defense, collects the ball. Juve do have control now as they switch to the left. McKennie finds some space on the left of Bangula. Milan not looking too energetic this late into the half. 40 minutes now. And Juve do slow it up. So both teams look a little bit tired at the moment. A little bit understandable after 40 minutes, but can't fall asleep now. We got to push through. At the very least, protect this lead. We don't want old habits to come through on this one. Yeah, a bit of a slowdown in the play as both teams now in the midfield looking just to play a little bit of Sunday footsie at the moment. Milan trying to move up on the left side. Bit of overlap too. Benacer going in sort of a left back position with Hernandez going up. Or no, it was Hernandez kind of in a left wing position right now, pushing very much forward. And sloppy ball. Milan still with it. Reinders dancing around the top of the nets. And it doesn't lay. Gatti is there, kicks it out, but the press is on to Yaw. All over Vlahovic, gets the ball back in, and goal kick as the ball goes out. Both teams trying to vie for a call on the play there. And it was incidental. They both went for the ball. Ibrahimovic looking angry as always. He's been under fire as well lately with the situation of the team. Long ball, Di Gregorio. Almost gets through to the defensive line all the way to Magnan, who then throws it out quickly, releases Royale up the right side. Bengula's on him. Coop comes in just to squeeze her down, and Milan has to bring it back. Has been a lot of Milan, though, the last few minutes. 2 to go. Ooh, that ball sneaks through, but it's straight to Di Gregorio. The final ball for Milan is just not there tonight. Oh, McKennie loses his man. He gets it back again. He's joining the attack. Gets slowed up. Bangula. Man. Oh, he finally walks it out of bounds. He's just... And see, this is where it gets frustrating, right? Where they're just coming and sliding at you. And they don't necessarily make contact because you're too skilled because you dummied them, but you ran out of space. But they're still like just slide tackling all over the place. It's frustrating, and then they win the ball back. And it's like, man, they were working on getting a yellow card there. It's just Bangula was too deft and danced around him. He could have just sucked and tuck it in the ankles. But it is Milan now, looking for a final minute attack. Looking for maybe a curling from the right. Brought back up to Benacer. And Fofana tries to take one at the top, and it's just going wide. They did have to try something. The half is ending up, or is finishing up here. I mean, 30 seconds left. Yeah. I mean, Fofana, take a shot. Go for it. Di Gregorio's taking his time. He knows the clock's ticking. One minute. Yildiz receives that very nicely. He's walking in, puts it on net. What a save by Magnan, but Yildiz taking the pressure, taking the yanks from behind, still gets the shot off, curled back in. It's headed up. Benacer lets it lay, lets Bangula get ahead on it. But Royale finally gets the ball. It's moved up, and the slide tackle from McKennie is a miss. He's still on the run, trying to slow him down, and he makes contact with Benacer, shoulder to shoulder, and it looks like McKennie is getting a yellow now for that one as he goes down in pain as well as Benacer. McKennie definitely came in from behind, but it looked like it was shoulder to shoulder when he went on him. I don't know if that's grounds for a yellow in particular. It was definitely a physical maneuver. Like to see this again. He's limping. I mean, the half's pretty much done here. Knock on the knee, perhaps. But I think it's good. We're looking at it again. Okay, so he ended up getting his foot locked up in between the legs of Benacer, so that would be a foul. Not intentional, I don't think, at that point. And that ball into the box, last second by Milan, let off, had me worried as it goes wide, and the half is over. Because that's exactly what would have happened, is a goal in the last 2 seconds of the half. We're up 1-0. Beautiful goal. It's a bit to break down in that half, actually. Decent, exciting game. I'm enjoying it so far. What do you guys think of that first half? Yildiz mistake as fuck. Yeah, he's definitely on point today. He might be getting the man of the match. Bangula's up there too today. Not gonna lie, he gets the assist. Who was the man of the half, I guess, is the question at this point. And I would definitely say a race between Bangula and Yildiz, but Yildiz probably edging just a little bit because he did have that second nice shot on goal as well. Bangula's creating a lot, though. Just he's putting more effort in terms of just physicality and working that flank with McKennie. It's working out quite nicely, to be honest. Savona and Yildiz are more the skill guys, whereas McKennie and Bangula are more the physical guys. Athletics. Different dynamic. I'm going to have to go with Yildiz. I mean, let's bring up the FOT mob anyways. What am I doing? Just waiting here, staring at my face. There we go. Well, I guess FOT mob agrees with me. Yildiz is 7.9, Bangula 7.5. Benacer gets to 7.3 for being a bitch. He was involved, but he was involved for a lot of bitchy things as well that half. So I don't agree. Don't agree with you, FOT mob. Otherwise, everyone else 6s. I mean, Coop Miners, he was in the way a lot. He created a lot of turnovers for Juve, like for our possession, positively speaking. And I mean, really put Milan on the back foot quite often throughout that half. So I know that's not something that there's really a stat for. And I understand 6-1 by FOT mob, the algorithm. But honestly, I want to say Coop's off the ball movement today should probably bump him up a little bit. I mean, Thuram hasn't had that offensive spark today, but it's definitely been. I mean, McKennie, Thuram, Bangula, they just boss physically. They just boss that flank, and I love it. Is it? I mean, why did we put all our black guys on the one side? Is there something happening there? Is there segregation on this team, guys? Black and white and black. I'm just joking, of course. It's just funny how that turned out. Dusan is just there right now. He's coming back a lot on defense, and he has recovered the ball a few times that way, or has allowed the ball to be recovered by getting involved in that hockey term. I know a back check is what we call it. I've looked, there's no like actual football term for doing that, so I call it a back check. I'm using the hockey term, and you guys are gonna have to deal with it. Can we sell Dusan, please? Dusan is ass. He wasn't that bad. He didn't get the out-and-out service. The 2 times he had, he was very well marked. And that is actually part of the problem in terms of what Dusan is trying to do today. Milan is doing a fairly decent job of tightening up that central spot where Dusan exists. After he had a couple chances, that's when I had mentioned, okay, we need to start moving off into the wings. And I criticized Bangula for being too up and down the pitch and not cutting in. Well, lo and behold, Bangula cut into the pitch and had a beautiful cross into Yildiz on the opposite flank, and it went in. Without just putting all the hate onto Dusan, which I know happens, and we tend to do, I can't really blame him that much. He's been covered, and we've adjusted, and we went out wide, and we've created space out wide. What that means is Dusan is now getting less service, knowing that lane is not available to use. You have to go out wide. Now, what may happen, perhaps, is because our flanks are now becoming more of a threat, that they move more to the flanks, they cover less centrally, and that may give Dusan some space. Now, if Dusan gets the space and he gets the ball to do something, and then he whiffs it, I'll start criticizing him. But right now, he's had zero space. LJJ coming in saying hello. How's it going, LJJ? Oh, man, tons of people in here right now. Thanks for joining in. I hope you guys are all enjoying it as well. Guys, please like and subscribe. It's huge for us. Get the algorithm going. We're trying to start this year off right. Getting some new graphics in here, doing new things. We have a few things on deck ready to go. Some collaborations. We have, you know what? We've been bad for a while. We haven't collaborated much. We used to do it all the time. We got lazy. Trying to get back to our old ways and just have fun with the community again. Coop turned the ball over a few times as well. Silly mistakes. The midfield for both sides, there was moments where it was just really, really patchy. And nobody could really control it. So there was definitely some weird moments there as well. That is true. He needs to be investigated for match fixing. Flavich, because he's just whiffing balls. That people call, so backtrack, baby. You know the term. You know what I'm talking about. So I need watching all of Xerxes' goals, and a lot of him in United are all cooked. What do you mean? I think yeah. So I need watching all the. I don't know exactly what you were saying there, Dal. Sorry. Shacy, Low, and Behor. What? Okay, that's 2 in a row. Maybe I'm getting too far behind on the comments. Okay, let's get through. Vince coming saying, let's go. Okay, Dal saying, Xerxes has such finishing. It's crazy. Majority of his goals bounce off things and looks like a fluke. And one thing nobody mentions is he's slow as shit. Lorente level pace, can't hold up the ball. Yeah, I know you're not a big fan of Xerxes, Dal. I don't think he's anything special. I understand it's a Mata type player. I'm not sold on him myself. I know a lot of people are though, right? It's an interesting name. What is Xerxes? Here's the thing. Clearly, with Dusan, we can't use that outlet. So if we get somebody like Xerxes and play with a false 9, and perhaps that just gives us options to have a target forward style, physicality, and then a false 9 style setup. And maybe that's something we can adjust throughout the games, or depending on who we're playing, how they form up against us. Maybe just gives us an option. We need an attacker. And right now, there is no attacker that is completely ideal that's on the market, or at least that would come close to being able to afford ever. Kolo Muani is probably the only other top level type striker, but expensive. And he's not exactly the profile either, right? It's just so difficult. It's January. I said I was catch up to the comments, and I have not. So let's do it. When you get famous, don't forget me. I won't forget you, man. The Saturday collab loading. Yeah, I'm still hearing. I'm still waiting from one guy for a time on that one. I'll tell you what the show is gonna be. We're gonna do like a midterm report. We're gonna kind of just rehash the half of the season, and I think it was just gonna be cool instead of me or Dash or Dave just monologuing and kind of having our own little echo chambers. Kind of bring some guys from the community and have more of a conversation with different ideas. That's what we're looking to do. So it may not come at like the perfect midway point of the season because people's schedules, we live all over the world, different time zones, all that, and we all have jobs and we're busy. It's gonna come though. Hopefully by tomorrow, honestly. Misak, how's it going, bud? Flavic has bumpers on his feet. Many coaches have screamed in my face about back checking. Okay, I'm going to guess you're Canadian. If not, you're from like Montana or like that, Milwaukee, like those types of places in the States. Boston, maybe. He's playing as a libero for Milan. Who? See, this is what happens when I don't keep up with the comments. We're talking about Vlahovic, aren't we? Oh, okay. JC was making fun of how I said lo and behold. Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, I know. I get tongue twisted sometimes. And it's funny too. I should honestly do mouth, my mouth around. That's gonna be getting really weird as I'm doing mouth exercises. Yeah, I should honestly do what like singers do and just practice a few minutes because I was mispronouncing a few words, especially when the action was getting hot early on, and then as my mouth warmed up, it was a little bit better. Yeah, I'll do better for you, JC. Frankie saying Xerxes is a system player. He is. But that's also sort of my concern is that, yes, it's Mata's system. We have Mata. It should work. Mata's system is heavily injured and is not ideal and is not like a system per se at the moment because it's very just disjointed through the injuries. And perhaps Xerxes would help, but he might also just tie us more into a system in which we lose a bit of flexibility in that regard now because we're trying to play a system instead of just playing the best formation, the best tactics for who we have available at the moment. Different coaching styles, I understand that, but it still raises concerns for me. That's kind of where I'm at. I'm very much on the fence with the Xerxes thing. Vincenzo saying, hint, it is one of the Festivus. Is it one of the Festivus invites? One of them is, yeah. Actually, both of them I invited, but one of them showed up. Yeah. Dal saying, seriously, Xerxes is really bad. This is a big club, and we need to make chances for the striker. Now, a match with striker with extremely shit finish rate. We are absolutely fucked. Xerxes is not going to work. No, I can't. I can't imagine a striker with an extremely bad finish rate. We have one. We have only one. This isn't Bologna. He's going to get marked out the game. Yeah, it's. I kind of feel the same way, Dal. Yeah, that's why I'm not convinced. I just don't know if it would work. And my other concern too, we go so hard into all these system players. What happens if we fire Mata? Then you need to bring back a coach like Allegri who can coach a team with just a bunch of random dudes thrown together. And then where are we again? It just skeletons in the closet. It's just skeletons in the closet. We need to move on from this, but whatever. I will keep my reservations on Xerxes for now. I'm not going in on him. Swap Dusan for Gyökeres. So Man United want Gyökeres, who could probably afford him. And that would open up. So we're trying to get the loan deal for Xerxes right now. So that should be, I guess, part of that conversation is we're just trying to get the loan, a dry loan preferably. We're like Man U hasn't said no to a loan, they've said no to a dry loan. They want some obligations here. So that's where more of my concern is that the management know that Xerxes is probably not the preferred profile, but if you can get him on a 6-month dry and see if it works out, you still need backup, even if it's just to get Vlahovic some rest. You need somebody. Yeah. I don't know Manchester United's books well enough to know if they can afford that maneuver if they buy Gyökeres and then just dry loan Xerxes. Probably doesn't look great on the books. All right, let's move along. Xerxes and Tamari instead of Dusan and Danilo. I will officially be moved out. He wouldn't be the first, I don't think. Okay, Jeff saying first things first, we need a center back, and then we'll worry about the Vice Vlahovic later. Yeah, but they're still going to be talking about things in parallel, right? We have multiple scouts, we have multiple managers. They're able to do multiple things at once. So I'm not too concerned that we're trying to make two deals happen at the same time. But yes, the money, the priority should go to that of the center back and lock that down first. Get Nico on. Yeah, I think he's coming. Okay, that's right, Detroit. Yes, I remember now because you're talking about the Dash. Yeah, that's a hockey city. Absolutely. Now, the people that ripped you on haven't watched Xerxes. I would rather get Schick any day of the week. Okay, so I mean, not even to mention Schick. Maybe just to have like that one old. It's not a bad idea to get somebody like that as backup, honestly. But here's the deal, though, Dal. Like, you're allowed to shit on Dusan and not be pro Xerxes. But yes, I see where you're coming. That a lot of the people that are anti Dusan that are pro Xerxes are kind of missing the plot, and they're not seeing the whole picture. So from that angle, absolutely. JC finally coming in. Yeah, warmed that math out for me. Oh, you guys. Dal, fuck systems. Mono system is poop miners in fucking cam. Yeah. We need goals. Let's get a striker that can't score and passes back. Okay, Dal, gals, he's getting worked up. Dusan, no matter what people say, can pull magic out of his ass. He can. We do need a striker with consistency, right? So Dusan's great to have. I'm not gonna lie. He's a good striker for what he is. Expensive, but you need a consistent dude. Yeah, Misak saying bring him in, see how the team will flow. Yeah. 6-month dry loan, cool. Let's do it. Xerxes can barely score. It happens. Same with Vlahovic. So we're having another Vlahovic. These are the strikers that the team wants. Okay. Trying to catch up because the half's almost back here. I thought he was fast and was his only redemption. Watch him. Anyone who rates him, we are fluked. Probably about Xerxes still. Don't you worry about the future, guys. Milk will come back and play at least once till the summer. We hope. We'll get Mana now, so we need to stick with him and give it some time. No, of course. I'm not saying fire him right now, but by chance, if he gets fired, even 2 years from now, and we stack this team through with system players, you know what I'm saying, right? It's going to put us in a situation down the line. People laughing at Milik, rather him over Xerxes. Milik isn't a bad striker, especially for how much he costs. Like very, very low wage. We got him for almost nothing. He just can't stay healthy, and that's his problem. I knew he was injury prone, which is fine when you have 3 strikers, but not when you have 2. Morata would have been perfect in Mott. Yes. I know, Morata. We all, especially German Dave. Morata would have been perfect. A loan deal would be great. I'm not convinced he will be the player we need. We need somebody for 6 months. Yeah. They aren't in financial crisis because of the new stadium, and Amarim was told no signings in January. Yeah, so or United are in a situation. Okay, we're about underway here. I gotta move over to the scoreboard, which I gotta set back up again. Guys, the comments have been great this half. You've kept me busy. I cannot keep up. This is great. Thank you so much. And if you haven't already, before we get into this second half, please like and subscribe. But we have the second half underway. And I'll continue to work getting through all your comments here. Okay, get the sync up here right now. Okay, we're locked in, synced up. 1-0 Juve going in the second half. Supercoppa semifinals. All right, Dal saying Schick would start over Dusan. He would fit the team better. He's technically way better. I haven't seen Schick play in a while. So I don't have any like modern, but Yildiz right now inches it wide, far post. Oh man, again, Yildiz just walking up the flank with space and almost tucks it away. I love it because he's catching me by surprise. He's just moving the ball quick and simple. Schick is another Milik. Yeah, like his injuries, and I have to look into him because I know he's getting up there. Chapel takes Xerxes on loan. He missed the first 35 minutes. They were pretty good. Not the cleanest, but they were good. Newsom can score complicated goals, but can't score a tap in. No, that's the problem. Which is insane how you can't score tap ins, but you can get highlight reel goals like once every few games. Yeah, so we need a striker with consistency, but a striker. Okay, hold on. Blahovic! And there's the tap in this. Okay, this is happening quick, and I can't keep up with all the comments. But yeah, I would rather have, like, as a backup striker, somebody who, might only get 15, 20 goals a season, not super expensive, but he's going to get a goal like every 2-3 games or so, and just give you some sort of production. Because we have a budget and has sort of what we can afford, right? Not the ideal, but it's what we can afford and we can use with it. But here's Milan now trying to open up on the right wing. Bangula back on defense and puts enough on it. It's corner. Okay, so Dal saying I don't care if Dusan goes, but replacing him with a less goal to assist, yeah, is crazy. There is the wage. Like, this will probably happen in June because of wages, but now in January, no, it makes absolutely no sense. Love Morata too, but he blew his chances last year with us. Yeah, we blew our chances with him as well, in a sense. We can get Rashford the Bob for 6 months over Shitsy. Yeah, that's another name too. Yeah, so close. Check 9 goals in 12 games. Okay, that's not bad. Corner is in. Di Gregorio goes down, holding his hand. I'm gonna say he's all right, and he's holding his head to get the stoppage. Morata gets pushed over there. No, I don't think it was the contact. I think it's just how he fell down on his left butt. It's going to tweak you a little bit. Schick is 20. So he's not even that old. Okay. That's actually not a bad age at all. I thought he was a bit older than that, but yeah, for 28. Yeah, we can look him up here. I don't want shit youngsters anymore. No, at this point, I think we can really do with some sort of veteran player, especially if it's a shorter term situation. I'm okay with it. And I saw this was, I hope this wasn't serious. I didn't have the time to actually go through it on Reddit about Son. Tottenham, I guess, we're getting rid of him. It was like 38 million for a 32-year-old. And I was like, on one hand, yeah, 32-year-old attacker like Son probably wouldn't be bad. But at 38 million? No, that's one of those, you get him for like 15. Milan trying to go over the top. Morata not getting there in time. Di Gregorio does get on the end of it, releases it quickly. And what was this? Benacer. He like trips himself up, realizes he's going to lose his mark, which is Thuram, and he just swings his foot around and takes him out. That was like such a small little movement, but that was sleazy. That's the kind of stuff I would throw a yellow card at, just for being sleazy. Everyone's yelling at Dusan as I'm catching up to the man. I'm a few minutes behind. $80 million striker can't even tap in a goal. Half of Schick's goals are in one game. Yeah, didn't get like 4 of them. I can't remember now. We'll look up some stats if you got some time. Needless to say, I mean, we can talk about Schick all we want. His name has never come up. McKennie, can't get through. Bouncing around. We get a throw in. I mean, following for years after he failed her medical. Piol, why are we just laughing at Piol? Did he come up? Is he at the stadium, Pioli? I mean, he could be. Dybala on a free. I'm sort of entertaining anything at this point because we're getting desperate. If Dybala wasn't going to be even more injured than everyone else that we have, I would sort of entertain this one. I would entertain it if he would come for a really low wage. If he wants to come on a free and make $2 million a year, yeah, let's do it. But we know him and his used car salesman, agent of a cousin of an agent, whatever. No, man. Would fully get Son. He's an elite finisher at 32, but for 38 mil. Like, we just don't have that money, right? Like, we just don't have that money. And that's the problem. We're trying to buy possibly a Honchko or somebody like that, but Fajoli is going to have to be sacrificed. That we don't have any liquid money. We would have to move Fajoli to do anything. You get what, 25 for Fajoli? Like, you just can't afford it. Winning's the only thing that matters. So get shit kids and sell them off before they hit their prime, aka Keane, Coman, Fajoli. Now it's headed so many. The kids flop. They do, and our next one is Bangula, and he's looking good today. But I don't think he's safe. Murka violence. Yeah, you're used to that, Frankie. This was at the stadium watching the game. Okay. Yeah, because he coaches in Saudi, I believe, now. I'm gonna look that up real quick, see which team. Also, he does coach Al Nassr, so this is his home stadium. Okay, I had a feeling that he may. I mean, Pioli's not a bad coach. That's a good pickup for Al Nassr. Not gonna lie. For that level of league. Milan now with the corner. Kind of just bounces off Morata. Oh, how was that missed by Teo Hernandez? I'm there just with my jaw dropped, wondering where the coverage was on this corner. And Juve are extremely lucky right now to not have conceded. Coop was there, but to not even challenge the defense on it. Huge let off. Dybala's amazing, still amazing. Yeah, but he's also glass. Oh, bad tackle there. Was it Coop? Yeah, Coop with a bad tackle, giving up possession and injuring himself. Oh, no. He kind of got stepped on there. Yeah. Some cleats in the ankle. That's going to hurt. Yeah, you can't count on Dybala. And that's just it. You need somebody with consistency. And Dybala doesn't play consistently to even be consistent. Despite how much individual talent he has, unreliable. And if you remember, especially towards the end last couple of years, when he was with Juve, he was never there for the big games. And it's same. It's still the same. He's never there for the big games. He's going to show up for Empoli. Ball could play false nine with Mata. He could. Yeah, not taking anything away from him technically. It would be interesting, though. Just depending on how much he would cost us, though. Would he come back? Did he learn any lessons? Demanding 11 million? I think he knows now that he's not going to get 11 million. What was he making? Five, 6? Does anybody remember off the top of their head what Dybala's making? Yeah, that should have been 1-1. It was Milan's deuce on there. And that, well, I mean, they don't mind he was a fullback, not a striker. The ball was spinning crazy. True enough. He hasn't been that consistent. No, he's missed pretty big chunks to the point where Roma was like, where's Dybala? Is he coming back? He's had his moments, both positive and negative there at Roma. She was just like, wow, what a goal by Louise. Now there are some other Louise from another galaxy and dimension. What other game's going on that's got Louise in it right now? Kenny wins that back. Crosses all the way over to Yildiz. What a pass. All right, I'm finally caught up. Cross in. Bangula gets on the end of it. People are saying a yellow card. Is that where we're at? What I just saw there now? Obviously, going to be ahead of me by a few seconds, not a minute or two. Thuram, ooh, goes at Nat. Did Mangan get any of that? Or did it just go off the face? Yeah, just off the face, the net. It's at that point now, though, right? Where we need to do something about this game, maybe another. It should be noted, too, we missed it a couple 4 minutes ago. Wait, though, Milan coming through, big tackle. They're complaining, and as they're complaining, Bangula is just going to bring this one forward. Coop gets on the end of it, but can't control. Tomorley's there to strip him, and Milan come back the other way. We're swimming last minutes. Yeah. Milan's starting to get a little more into this game. And Musa, I mean, Another American. Bring them all on. Need to see Weah now. Yeah, Musa coming in for Benacer there in the 54th minute. Missed that there as I was still catching up to everyone's comments. So thank you for making me work for it today. It's a fun one. If we get to the point where I can't read all the comments, it means we're doing well. So keep it coming, guys. Overwhelm me. Nice by Gatti. Yeah, Gatti coming in big. Still showing some replays from that as we now have another change. And Jimenez is coming off. Tammy Abraham now. And we might, yeah, let's see what Milan changes up here. They're saying 4-4-2 diamond. That is a very Portuguese type of formation. Well, it is what Portugal did anyways for, what was that old man's name again? I'm going to forget his name, the manager. It's just not in my head right now. From like 2018 or whatever, we always did the diamond. But attack now, Coop. Down the right side, a bit of space. It gets knocked out for a corner. Yeah, dangerous sub. I didn't want to say it. I want to hold my tongue, but yeah, Abraham is a dangerous substitution. Corner, some boos coming from the crowd. I wonder what for. So Milan with 2 changes, 61 minutes. Juve, no changes yet. Let's see if Mata actually doesn't piss me off in this regard this time around. Ref holding the play back again, asking what's holding things up. Tussling in the box, Vlahovic and Thiago going at it. Ball's in. Lay straight to Milan's head. Bangula at the top. Out with Yildiz, who's on the left. Curling all the way in far post, doesn't make it with Coop Miners coming in. Savona working the flank. Cross gets cut out, and Milan turns it over. Counterattack. That is a dangerous position to lose the ball. The through ball, however, with Bangula coming all the way back to the defense, is there to cut the pass out. And what, again, a back check by Bangula coming in real deep off his wing. So more from Bangula today that's impressing me with his play. Oh, no, you got to go to work. That's too bad, man. Have a good day, Frankie. We'll miss you. Hopefully you can catch some of it on your way in. I don't think you work half an hour away, though, so good luck with that. Bangula battling that Keenan man of the match title, for sure. I think just overall play, Bangula is probably better. When you're looking at both phases of the game, right? Kenan does not do as much defensively. This Milan is playing like my 96-year-old grandma driving her old school car, and we are just not closing the game. Hey, what do you know? Cambiaso's coming on. But not coming on. They don't let him. It is a Milan throw, so they kind of dictate that. Nico Gonzalez is well on deck. So this is the same, basically exact same as last game, which happened at the 62nd. We're here at the 64th minute now with Nico and Cambiaso, identical to the Fiorentina match there. So Bangula is making way for Cambiaso. So does Cambiaso play as a winger? Or I mean, Nico. Sometimes it's not 1-for-1. Vlahovic is coming on. So no, that's going to be Nico Gonzalez going in as striker. False 9, perhaps. And it's Cambiasso going in for Bangula. I don't see McKennie necessarily going into the wing, but he could. McKennie could play any position, I feel. Center back and goalie are the only ones I haven't seen him do. Cambiasso looks like he's in the left back position, and McKennie, no, it's too hard to tell right now because they're dropped into a back 5. Let's see when we have possession what we look like. The round coming in heavy. Has to be careful. Cambiasso with his first touch, slowing things down. Still Milan. Coop's there again to win the ball. He's got Nico there. Not the best pass. He gets slowed up. It's still looking. Is it a 4-3-3? We might. I'm not sure yet. We don't have enough possession. It might even be a 4-3-3. But Cambiasso's playing the left back, and it looks like McKennie's moved up. Pulisic turns around, though. Space down the center. What a save by Di Gregorio. Reinders lofting kind of a change up there in the opposite corner of the net, but Di Gregorio just launching himself across the face to collect it. Solid save, solid control. Di Gregorio once again showing what it's worth. Yeah, this is a strange sub. The sub had control. Here's Reinders again. And overpassed straight to Di Gregorio. Bro, Coop keeps pissing me off. He does really good things and then really dumb things. He's kind of all over. Nice win by Nico as he gets the ball back. Big curl across the face. It's too much for Yildiz. He does maintain a bit of control here, keeps it in. And he brings back center. Coop drops off. Loca from downtown gets blocked out. Good little passage of play, not going to lie. Doesn't work out for him. Oh, Yildiz wins it back deep. He's working in the box. It's getting held up. Nothing yet. Savona wins a corner. Tightening down that screw. Couple fresh legs. This is the time. Claw one back. Close this match out. We have to close these matches out. We have the corner. Now's the time. Milan hasn't looked great today. We've already made $5 million for showing up. I think it's another 1.6 just to get to the finals. Curled in. Waiting for it to drop nicely. Cambiasso pushes it back in. Nothing happening, but Cambiasso looking. McKennie curling in. Man down from Milan. Ball is stopped. Play is stopped. It's Tammy Abraham. Holding his head. Maybe something there in the corner play. Head injuries are always going to stop. So Abraham goes up. So he hits his head down on Thea. That's what it was. Chow, I guess, is how they say it. I've never been corrected. I've always said Thea. I guess it's Chow. But this does. It's a T. It's not a. I don't know. It's one of those I'm going to mess up forever. Milan players are falling down. They haven't looked great, which is why we should be up 2-0. 69 minutes. Milan going deep. They're still on it. What a cutout there by Savona. And Locatelli giving up a penalty. It's a Milan penalty, and this is what happens when we don't close out the game. Locatelli just losing his feet, making contact with Pulisic right inside the box. Oh, my Lord. So Savona's challenge is great. Locatelli, though. Oh, man. Okay. I mean, he got some of the ball, maybe. Pulisic's going to take it. He's going left. You already know, eh? 70th minute penalty. Milan's playing like absolute crap. They finally make one play into the box, and we bottle and give up this opportunity. Oh, Di Gregorio gets it, but not enough of it. Right down the center. Di Gregorio, man, I honestly thought he had that. And do I have to remind everyone that we have failed to close out a game? And it's by dumbass shit. Once again. Yeah, he got a lot of that ball, but his hand was a little low that allowed the ball to continue to rise up into the net. Oh, man. What's the response now? And we absolutely do not want to take this one into extra time. Long ball doesn't work out. Magnan takes it and relaunches in. It is McKennie playing as a left wing now. And Coop getting messy, drawing a penalty once more. Tigra is mid? Who's Tigra? And Shervin Logmani, I don't think I've seen your name either, so thanks for joining in. I'm just not quite sure what you mean by Tigra is mid. Now, my concern as well at this point is because Milan have a deeper bench. Like we're putting people out of position all over the place at this point. We needed to get our couple goals early on so we can control the game with our shortened bench and calm things down. Now we're expending that extra energy to claw this one back. Oh, Taylor's Di Gregorio. Why would he say he's mid? At what point has he shown that he's a mid goalkeeper? And why haven't I ever heard Tigra as Di Gregorio? I know it kind of sounds, I don't know. I've always just called him Greg for short. And here is Morata trying to come in, wins a corner, losing his man. Yeah, I wouldn't say Di Gregorio is mid. He guessed the right direction, got a hand on it. He's got great distribution. He's made some great saves. I wouldn't call him mid by any stretch of the imagination. Another corner for Milan. Yeah, just because a goalie lets a penalty in that he guessed right and got a piece of it. I mean, I don't get that angle. He always punches out the ball. His ball playing ability is not what I expected, and that penalty is right at him, but hopefully he will improve. He doesn't always punch the ball out. No, I can't agree with any of that. Like his earlier save, he completely collected the ball. He's kind of heated right now. Okay, that's cool. But yeah, I'm just not going to be throwing shade at Di Gregorio. I think for how much he's cost, I'm not. I think he's a top tier goalkeeper. Maybe not like an elite goalkeeper per se. Oh, now an attack by Milan. Whoa, what the fuck was that? That wasn't even a shot. I don't know what that was. And that's rough. Now, like, okay, Mata, are you going to make your fucking changes now? And this is where I'm going to start getting yelly and pissy and like, what the fuck? You just blew the goddamn lead again. And that wasn't even a shot. That was just I don't know. So the ball comes back. It's just a huge deflection off Gatti. And with Di Gregorio off his line, it's just such a fucky ball. And this is like, how do we lose in the worst possible way? We dominated this whole fucking game, and then we get the two shittiest fucking things thrown against us. And Milan's going to go on to the finals and get absolutely ass fucked by Inter. Well, wake the fuck up, Juve. Di Gregorio's. I don't know if you can. You got to blame a few people. I don't know. That one was just absolutely off script. I don't know who you blame for that one, honestly. And that's your captain and vice captain there, essentially giving up goals. And is Mata going to make some substitutions? You got 14 minutes left, and you're down a goal. You were up a goal, now you're down a goal. Make a goddamn decision. Mata is overhyped even in a Saudi Supercoppa. This is what happens with overhyped individuals in football. I'm blaming Mata for playing poop in cam and holding his dick and not making subs. Okay, that's fair. I can agree with that one because that's how I feel much of the time. Okay, I mean, right now we got McKennie and Nico down. He gets up on his feet finally. Thuram out to Cambiasso. Cuts it back. It's all over the place. Put it in, guys. Jesus. Oh, the ball just gets cleared off the line. There was some contact there. I'm not really sure. It was incidental, I suppose. No call. Dougie Luiz is going to be making an appearance. Oh, watch out. Flopman is entering the field. I want to see him go. I wouldn't call him Flopman just yet because I know he has it. He just needs to play some games and not be a bitch. And that's okay. He did get a yellow on that from Nico. That was a delayed card. Just stepped on there. That's Emerson Royale. Yeah, I'm getting razzed up too now. 1-1's one thing, you make a mistake, but to just do it twice in a matter of minutes, it's just such bullshit. As Milan now turn this ball again for another counterattack. It's Pulisic on the charge. Out to Morata. And that one's a wasted goal kick. Dougie, I swear this is your moment. Now's your time. put to party on. He might get the next game if we could pull this one through, but oh my lord. I don't blame Di Gregorio for that second one. Because his instructions, like he is a ball playing goalkeeper, right? His instructions are to come off the line to be part of the play. So that's a Mata tactic. Like that's Mata in this case, having Di Gregorio play off the line like that. Dougie has it now. Juve are definitely looking curls in, but no, that's blocked off all the way back out again. Roca pushes it in, lays off. Yildiz cross, clearing it off the line again. Lulu too heavy of a touch, and it's Milan with the counter again. Abraham charging forward. Gatti does not stop him up. It's going wide. It's Savona now that has the last man, and it's brought all the way forward. And there's Di Gregorio sliding in, gets the toe on it enough. It's a corner, but he's basically all alone at that part. So there's a positive for Di Gregorio now. Tomorrow is allowed to walk through. Yeah. The defense did not get back in time at all. Terciano and Gabbia coming on now for Milan. Because it's the 80th minute. So you start using all your subs, right? Especially when you're up now in this case, and you can close out a game because it's the 80th minute. So Sergio Conceição looks like he learned how to coach and make substitutions at some point in his career. So it's Morata and Emerson Royale coming off. So Milan going into their defensive shape now. They have the corner. And a dangerous cross put in, but a dangerous counter as that's lopped off. Yildiz has a bit of space. There's a man right behind him, though. And Yildiz, that's got to be a, yes, easy yellow. That, I want to call for a red. That's Pulisic. He wasn't the last man back. It would have been a little harsh to call a red, but that was very intentional, taking out Yildiz. It's a decent position. Coop could put one in from here. Apparently, he gets them in the net all the time in practice. Worked out for him. It was a week or two ago. A little bit of magic would go a long way at this point. Not gonna lie. That's only Coop. Gatti's there, but it's not going to take it. And it goes easily to Mania. Doesn't get enough of the curl around that one. Mignon distributes it out to the left. Nico trying to get on Thea there. It is Gatti as the ball's just dumped forward by Milan. And you really see him starting to dump in deep on the defense. Yildiz cuts it back. Locatelli scoops it in. And Matt can't get it. It's cleared off again. Abraham looking dangerous as always. These are the anxious moments. 84 minutes. Milan still have a substitution. Juve still have one. I can kind of understand saving one if this one goes into extra time. From Milan's perspective. But Juve, you got to do something. Mac, though, tons of space. Cuts it back too much. It's a corner, but man, I mean, McKennie isn't a left winger. Way in Fajoli. Finally. 85 minutes. It only took 85 minutes. Oh, man. Like, I'm sorry, you have McKennie playing as a winger. Get Way on. If he's still injured, I mean, what do you want me to say at this point? Like, 5 minutes or 10, just put him on. Yeah, that's a silver lining a little bit, is we get a little bit more rest. But we can't lose these ways. It's Stum, Coop, corner in. Head it out. Jolie out to Savona. I mean, again, still relying on Savona for a full 90 minutes. Coming out from the next gen. Boyan Jordan just saying same shit again. Oh, I know. 86. There is some time here. Dumped forward to Nico. Trouble's settling it down. He still has it, though, and gives it away. There's so many men back on Milan right now. They're springing counterattack at the same time. He goes down way too easy. Gatti saying no, and he's correct in that regard. That was way too easy. What's up, Hernandez? Well, I mean, not surprising. We can't draw it, man. Wonder signing is passing backwards in the 86th minute at 1-2. Why not? Just blame Gentoli, you're saying? It's starting to get that way where I put a lot of the blame on upper management currently with how things are panning out. We all knew at the beginning of the season that we would be on a shoestring in terms of depth. Nobody knew it was going to be this bad. And that is a management problem. Getting rid of players like Grugani. Another missed pass there turns it over. No, when we get rattled like this, we lose all our shit. It's that mental fortitude. We have somehow brought a lot of games back in these situations, but we've also done it the other way. And then Danilo. Nice. I don't know if that was onside. Doesn't work out at the end. Thought that was out for a corner, but ball still in play. Dougie curling in far post, and now it's out for a corner. Was that a goal kick? I thought that went off defense. Man. Yeah, Canan at the 10 for the first few games was majestic. Even those couple games there the past month in December, but I don't even know what to say in the post game that I haven't said the past 2 months. Is there anything novel to say about this whole situation right now? I mean, I should just get sound bites of myself saying the same thing so I don't have to waste my breath. Just play a recording. LJJ still has hope. I mean, I hope we score, but it's just this theme week in, week out of not controlling the games, losing leads. Like, how we must have the record for lost leads. What's Gatti doing there? Just dumping the ball forward. Man, and Musa pushing out Cambiasso, dumping the ball forward, wasting time. Mata out. I don't want a shitty equalizer after we were winning. I mean, my silver lining is I'm probably not available for Monday at 2 p.m. because I have a job. So I don't know if I'd be able to make it. First day back to work after 2 weeks. Is that one of those days you can cut out, you know? Guy turned us into Bologna. So 5 minutes added. It is a bit of time. Look at the attitude. What the fuck? It's also fatigue, bad trainings, etc. Look at their faces. Look at Mata's face. Look at Toli. Oh my god, this is a bad Sega, worse than the Coop Sega. It's demoralizing. Only benefit that we get to rest, even though that doesn't matter, we will still draw. It's just how long is it okay to say give him time, right? It's always the same situation. It was the same with Keys. It was the same with Vlahovic. Oh, what time do you like? Okay, that's enough. That's enough time. You need to have this sorted out. And it's not just Mata. It's the fact that he doesn't have the squad depth that he should have, even with these injuries. Like, look at Milan's injuries. They have a few, but they still have a full bench. Corner in. Cleared out. Cambiasso dumps it back. And all the way out for a goal kick. I always said stay away from Atalanta players, but no, they are class. Dude, this is karma for Allegri, Tech, Rugani, Danilo, and everyone else that was disrespected. Yeah, it kind of feels that way. Milan have more injuries. Yeah, currently. Yeah, because we just recovered, apparently, a bunch of people. Yeah. And they still have all the depth. And you can't say, oh, because we don't have Bremer in this case. Both goals we just like tossed away to them. Gifting. I mean, that's what I said last week. Gifting goals. That was the theme. And here we are doing the exact same thing against a trash Milan. Like, Milan have not played well today at all. Somebody's pushed over. Nico's pushed over in the box. No call. Balls all the way out again. These long balls are all overcooked as well right now. All going out of bounds for goal kicks. Imagine 2018 Juventus against this joke Milan. Yeah. Oh, we would have walked them. This is Bologna with the coat of Juve colors. Should have got Conte. Bum wanted McTominay, and we would have made us a force. Yeah, who would have expected McTominay to just like do as well as he's been doing? Did not expect that. I thought he'd just be like another English dude that kind of fades away in Serie A, but he's been cooking. I mean, English players tend to do well. There's a lot that do well in Serie A. Don't forget that this is their coach's first game in charge. Yeah, but there wasn't even any new coach aura going on here. That cheat code wasn't even really in play. It's just We gave them those goals. They didn't really earn those goals. We gave it to them. A few seconds left here. Another bad pass cut out. I knew I delayed walking my dogs for a second time today until after the game. I had a feeling I was going to need to walk the dogs after today's match, so I held off. And I'm glad I did because I'm going to need it. Yield is edge of the box, chips it in, nothing. Disrespect to Fajoli, give him 5 minutes every game. We're going to have some hard conversations. Hard conversations. And they're not going to be pleasant ones. Yield is curling in. Heads up. Ooh, Gatti on the volley. Oh, my God. I don't know if that was deflected or he whiffed it. It must have went off the player. It's over. It's over. And we lost. And I'm fucking pissed off once again. Let it flow, guys. Let it flow. Jesus Lord. Controversial take. Fajoli would be better in the 10 position than Coop. Coop is a fucking 8. He's an 8. Everyone knows he's an 8. The whole world knows he's an 8. He wears 8 on the back of his shirt. And we continue to, that's one of the most obvious issues with the team and with what Mata's doing. Put him as an 8 for a couple games, he does great. We have so many players that are able to play in that situation. Nico can do it. Fajoli could do it, perhaps. Yildiz can definitely do it. Cube should only do it when we have, like, if for the odd game here and there, switch things up. He should not be the bona fide number 10. He is not an out-and-out number 10. Dash is here. What, you want to yell at me too?
No, I'm not yelling at you. Good Lord, this team sucks.
Oh, man. Yeah, it's pretty bad.
That was the worst second half I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, like, that was just secondhand embarrassment for them. Like, that's how bad that was.
Yeah, I mean, the only good thing about this is I don't have to rush home from work on Monday and try to figure out how to make a stream.
I just,
2 minutes, like,
how do you let a Sergio Conceição team make 4 chances in an entire half that you're winning, by the way? Like, you're winning the game.
I'm out of words. I don't know what else to say.
Like, that to me is just
straight. Like, do you have any other insight that I haven't already thrown up
No.
all over the stream?
No, there is no insight. Like, there's a certain somebody that should have buried that chance, but I'm not gonna, hey, it's, the sky is blue and someone keeps bottling up tap-ins. What else am I supposed to do at this point? Oh, God damn it. I have no words. Like, I literally don't know what to say.
I'm done. Personally, with words.
I'm sorry.
I need to walk my dogs and, like, have a couple drinks and just sleep on this because I have no answers.
This team sucks. Like, I'm sorry. Like, this is probably hands down, despite the whole, like, we're undefeated and yada yada yada. This is one of the worst products I've seen in a very long time.
And the thing is, and the comparisons are going to be made, and I know people hate the comparisons. Chiellini works for the team, so he's going to tell us to stop making the comparisons because he's going to try to protect the product. But, I mean, other than that, You have to make the comparison in that Allegri did it with a worse roster, and it was worse to watch, but we still somehow managed to close out the games and win more often than not.
It's not even about style of play, because like for example with Max, like we knew we were in to like gouge our eyes out for 90 minutes,
Yeah,
but
you knew.
Like you knew what you were getting into. With this, it's just kind of like, okay, great. It's a literally Conceição had 3 training sessions with this team, 3 of them.
Yeah, not even in his own stadium.
No,
and he has the flu.
No, and it's just like I'm sitting here and I'm like, what the hell? Like I don't even I don't know what to say. It's just like I really like we don't know what Juve you get. Whatever game we play, we don't know what product we're getting. And that to me is just like it's blasphemy, because when you look at the team you have on paper and you look at the talent that you have, it's like, okay, you should be getting this kind of style, but like you're not. And maybe it is like, for example, and again, the players aren't out of question too. I think there's just literally a huge gap at leadership for this team. And I mean, from player personnel wise, because like you think about it, who's your veteran guy? Gatti hasn't really done anything.
Locatelli is probably your veteran, if anybody. But yeah, Gatti technically. Yeah.
Like, I mean, again, you look at look at who had the armbands today. Locatelli, Gatti. What have they done in their career? Besides
well, they both
Loca with the Euro.
Today. I mean, they both did well at points of this game as well. But
I can't throw that on Gatti. That's 100% on Di Gregorio. Like 100% on Di Gregorio.
But see, no, and this is what I commented. Was it though? Because he's supposed to be
way too far up. He was way too high.
But that's his instructions as well, right? Like Mata wants him to play higher up the line. So I'm convinced that he's sitting that far up as well because of the tactics, because we want to play this out the back modern football. But that's what happens when your goalie plays off the line. It's stupid shit like that goes in.
The problem is like I'm watching the replay of it again, and I'm like, okay, great. He's playing that high off. What is he going to do? Like body check Tammy Abraham or something like that? Like, I mean, at the angle that Musa was going to play that cross, like he didn't need to be, because he was well past the 6 with that one. So, and it's like, again, and it's not Gatti's fault for putting his leg out. He's supposed to. That's what a defender's supposed to do. Like, I can't sit there and be like, Gatti's a bum for making that play. But I don't know, man. Like it's just, holy smokes. Like the leadership on this team is just, again, it's non-existent on the player perspective. And honestly, it doesn't help that your coach isn't really the most inspiring guy out there.
Do you remember? I'm going to bring it back a couple of years, because Rick Ozzie, I've seen this name before. I haven't seen him in a while, so welcome in, Rick. But do you remember when we were doing stuff on BZ and there was that Ozzie that gave $200 for me to take my shirt off? It wasn't this Ozzie, was it? Do you remember which Ozzie that was? It's like 2-3 years ago now.
Nope.
And Ozzie paid me $200. Well, paid Ale from Bank Canary Zone $200 for me to take my shirt off. I never signed any money.
Oh, that's who that was. Okay.
It was an Aussie guy. I remember that. JC might remember. JC was there.
Carr. Yeah, Carr would probably. I think we all were, but yeah, I think Carr would remember it.
Boy, yeah, nah, this leadership issue, and then you send Danilo to Brazil.
Well, and then it's just like, also there's a comment that I saw in there too, where someone's just like, "Hey, man, yeah, where was all this veteran thing when Allegri was the coach? Because everybody was bitching about the young players with Allegri. That's why."
Veterans were needed in the Allegri area to succeed. Loan in, cheap signings, whatever, didn't happen. Now the veterans is not a topic realistically. Well, we don't have. We just haven't put any veterans into our team. We perhaps need like just a 32-year-old guy looking for his last contract at a bigger team, just to, come off the bench and yell at dudes while he's on the bench,
Yeah, we've got one of the youngest rosters in the league.
Conte, yeah, we need Conte to kick this team in the ass. Honestly, it's looking more and more that would have been the ideal bridge solution. You get Conte in for a year or two, until you can secure something better. Because, you know, like, well, you said it, Conte will get you to the dance.
Yeah, he'll get you to the dance. The issue is like, because I remember how I said it yesterday when we were filming. I said there's two pathways you could go. You could either go the Palladino route or you go the Conte route, and like that's the only two pathways you're gonna go. And to be honest with you, the more and more I keep watching this, and more I keep seeing this product, it's either going to be one of two things. Either Gintoli has to do like a reaction change and shift Mota for like Conte or something like that. That's if Conte doesn't leave. If Conte leaves Napoli, like a Conte-esque profile, or if him and Mota fuck up next season, both of them are gone.
Yeah, and a lot of people saying that we're not going to get top four. We need top four. We know we ran the numbers. If you haven't seen that one, we have the financial report where we brought Sal in, who is our financial expert. And yeah, we pretty much need top four. Keep in mind to pay off Gonzalez, Conceição, and Di Gregorio, we need about $80 million to pay up as well. And that's pretty much, I mean, Champions League gives you 100. That's you know, you need the top four.
Yeah, like for example, this isn't like, for example, you throw it just on Gintoli or Mota, right? I think it's on both of them.
Yeah.
Like, example,
the management level more so than anything, in my opinion.
It is, but it isn't at the same time, Dave. Because like, if we look at it, like for example, if we look at it on paper, the incomings and the departures, like it's not like, you know, it was an F, right? Like it wasn't a complete debauchery. Like for example, letting Rugani leave, that was a debauchery. That was because you didn't have enough center backs going into the season. You didn't have enough strikers going into the season. So that's something you can easily throw and say, okay, that's Gintoli being a dumbass with, like, for example, letting Keane go and letting Rugani go. Because the thing that I don't understand is, and this is what kind of, sure, we got 18 million from him, but you're going into the season, Milik injured his meniscus during the Euros. So you're already down a striker, and you're just kind of like, I will sell you. Unless the only way that they could have got Nico Gonzalez is if they did something with Keane. But that's the one thing I didn't understand from a Gintoli perspective. Same thing, like, for example, again, where it's like, okay, you're going to start phasing out Danilo, then why would you send Rugani out on loan?
So why Bib's saying let's lower our expectations, enjoy what we have. But we can't enjoy watching us blow a lead every single week. That's the issue. Like, and it goes back to the question. Yes, we have Mata, we have a new team, a young team. You have to give them time. But
Go ahead, Dave.
But there's just fundamental issues at hand that are not being addressed, that we've been yelling about, that management has completely ignored. Dash, go ahead.
Here's my question. What do we have right now?
We have a great mid-table team.
Like that's what my question is like, what do we actually have? Because like I mean, I can enjoy it if it's like, okay, you know, we have a top four team. It's in a rebuild. We're just kind of going for the top four. You know, we just got some grassroots players, some veteran players. We're, fingers crossed, hopefully trying to make the top four. If that was what we were going into the season, sure, no problem. I'm not upset. I'd be right there with you. But when you have a $200 million or million euro transfer bill on a bunch of players, and again, you're banking in on a 80 million euro striker, and you're banking in on a bunch of other things, and you're in the position where top four isn't a hopeful dream, it's an expectation, and you're falling short of that expectation. That's where, you know, we're kind of antsy. Because again, if we don't hit top four, and if it's not like for example, if it's not a confident top four hit, and if we don't hit it, this team is going to go into the dark ages for at least 2 or 3 seasons.
Yeah, because we can't afford all those contracts we have to shed. And that's when you want to go with really young players. Like a complete refresh rebuild is when you don't expect to make that Champions League money. You don't have to pay a wage of 80 or transfers of 80 million in the summer, plus whatever holes we need to plug up somehow, right? So we are very much in a situation that if we don't perform to this certain standard right now, we are definitely in for it going forward because we're not getting that revenue of the top four, which is critical in Serie A because the leagues run like shit and we don't get enough TV money and we just there's not enough float from other reasons. We don't even have a shirt sponsor. You know, where are we getting the money?
No, absolutely.
We have a top 6 team. Yeah, well, technically, yeah. Is there a point that we're missing? Otherwise, like from the crowd, from the chat, like are we missing something?
Yeah, and that's a good thing, right? I mean, we have 30 people in here, so like let's go for it here. Like, I mean, this is probably the most active we've had in a post game, but I don't know, like this is one of those things where I'm kind of like like I'm not breathing confidence. Like, for example, like I said earlier, like there's some things that Gentili did right, there's some things that Gentili did wrong. But like, for example, I don't understand. Like, for example, you can't hold Gentili for Douglas Luiz. The way that move was done was fantastic. The issue is Mutta needs to figure out how to get him up to snuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's on Mutta, because I don't care. Like, for example, if you look at it 6 months ago, any team that was able to pick up Douglas Luiz for 60 million or less than that, 28 million plus Illing and Berenachea, like any team would froth at the mouth to pick up that Douglas Luiz option. Right now it's different where everyone's like, oh, it sucks and blah 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 this and blah 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 that. No. That's on your manager to figure out a way how to implement them.
Yeah,
and again,
that is an interesting case.
My gripe with the fitness and conditioning staff and the nutritionists continue, because how the hell do you lose players in pregame warmups?
I'm very interested to know what happened with Chico. Like, short of Sergio going up to him and
I was gonna say, unless his dad slide tackles him from behind,
or just be like, "I never loved you."
If Doll's in the chat, can you please like give me something that I'm missing here? Because like I've done pregame warmups, I know a bunch of other people that do it, and I've never seen someone get hurt in warmups.
It does happen from time to time.
It's rare, but we've been having it as like a consistent thing.
Yeah. And
I think how much? 3 or 4 players?
Dougie for sure did. I think Nico did it.
I think
Cambiasco didn't start. He was supposed to start today.
And then Fagioli, I believe that happened to him as well.
It happens. It happens more than you would like to think the statistics would say that the averages.
Yeah, I just, for me, that's another thing, is just like, how the hell does this consistently keep happening? This makes no sense to me.
It's the only thing consistent about our team.
It's the only thing that's consistent is tweaking a hammy while stretching. That's the only thing that's consistent right now.
Yeah, I mean, Dal pretty much lays it out. Your fucking warm-up is supposed to stop injuries in the game. Yes, that's why you warm up. It's supposed to prevent the injuries.
Thank you. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm like, how does this keep consistently happening? Like, I'm baffled by it.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, regardless of that, I mean, it's not like this team was going to be creative or do anything fancy in general for me, but it's a joy to see Monta dressed. At least he can figure out how to do that. How can he figure out Luis? Come on, it's science fiction for Mr. Inter Monta. That's funny.
Oh boy. Yeah, we're gonna hear a lot of the Inter stuff, I think. Eddie's saying our 2 best signings were third options, Kalulu, Chico, and Cabell. To be fair, they were supposed to be off the bench players in the first place. Chico, I mean, came out of nowhere. Cabell got injured, and Kalulu is, well, playing because everyone's injured. So there's still technically like third options that have become necessities. It's joy for me to see Monta. Oh, he's just said that one, yeah. I mean, with his stupid turtleneck. Okay. It's the training program, and Juventus J Medical has shares in Juventus. Come on, this is a joke. Yeah, that's the tinfoil hat, right? They make it so they get injured so they can keep a job kind of idea. Summer window is bad now that we look at it. Well, and that's what this collab is that we're trying to set up for tomorrow, is doing the midterm report to really tackle these kind of questions to see where we're standing. And yeah, I'm just trying to get as many people as we can from the community, 3 or 4 of us, just to get a good cross section of opinions. But yeah, in our current frame of mind, coming off this loss, it seems as if our signings, our summer was a bit of a waste.
Oh, absolutely. I hate saying it, but absolutely.
2K also saying Vlahovic isn't it. Yeah, there's a lot now. The tides have turned heavily against Vlahovic. There's still a lot of simp fanboys out there, absolutely, for all these guys. But it's turned against Vlahovic fairly hard. Mata and Gentoli is getting it as well. And apparently Di Gregorio is taking some shade here as well. I don't think he's a bad goalkeeper. He makes a lot of great saves. He made a great one today. Yes, he came off his line. I don't think the penalty, I mean, he got a hand on it.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do about the pen. There's nothing you can do about that pen.
Yeah,
that
I don't want to put too much shade there. And Di Gregorio was what, 18 mil?
Yeah, if it was low and he gets a hand to it and isn't able to put it out, that's one thing. But guys, when you're shooting a pen and you're going top half of the net, those are either you're able to get something or it goes through your hand, because those are straight laser beams. Like that's kind of how it works, coming from a person that's done it on both ends, right? Or I've been keeper on pens and I've taken pens. Like if you're hitting anything above the waist and you're going into the roof of the net, those are either it goes through their hands or they're able to get a firm part, because that went through his fingers. Guys, when you're blasting that thing, because these guys can blast that sucker at what, 120, 130 kilometers an hour, your fingers aren't going to be enough. Like it's, unless he's going in with a fist and he's able to force, because the only way you're stopping a pen like that, because you could see how hard Pulisic hit it. Like it's,
oh, he put his foot through it. But let's bring that back to our goal, to Yıldız's goal, and it was the same thing. Yeah, it was in open play, so different, but you saw how much pace he put into that ball. He shot it short side, which is an easier shot to save, but he put so much pace through that ball that even though Maignan got his hands on it, it didn't matter. It went right through. And you can't really blame Maignan for that. Like I mean, give him a second chance and maybe he jumps that extra couple millimeters and makes the save, but you can't, in the process of play, like blame a goalkeeper for making the right decision, but just having a ball come at you just full blast, right? It happens. Sometimes you just get overpowered, and that was the case for both Maignan and Di Gregorio. So no shade to either one of them.
No, the second one, again, that's just more so him being a little bit too high up his line. That's the only thing I could put on that one, is him being way too high up his line for no reason.
Yeah, which again I think is part of the instructions of Mata trying to push up from the back. But my God, it's just I'm just turning it around back to the same discussion of our tactics need to be less of a system and more of a let's work with what the hell we have now in this moment and put our ego away and just play simple old-fashioned football and control the damn game. I don't care if it's a boring ass 4-4-2 or what, just control the goddamn games. And clearly having Di Gregorio and everyone else play that high up the line when you don't have positive control of these balls and you continue to give the balls up idiotically game after game. And I mean, Milan gave up so many balls. That's the one thing Coop did well today, was turn over the ball a lot. I mean, both directions, but he won a lot of balls back. And then we were in those positions to capitalize on Milan mistakes, and then we didn't. So it goes back to just close out the damn game, convert your chances, and if you are only up by a goal, don't fall the fuck asleep, because you're not allowed to at that point. You're allowed to fall the fuck asleep when it's 5-0.
Yeah, I think, like, for example, the one thing I got to give Conceição credit for, the father, not the son, is 3 training sessions in, he told them, hey, we're sitting back, give them pressure, we'll pick and choose our chances on the counter. And then he saw that, after the end of the first half, he's like, okay, let's pivot here. Let's try to chase it a little bit. Let's try to rattle them. Like you could tell what Milan was trying to do, and they executed it perfectly. And the guy's only been training them for three sessions. Where it's like for us, I look at it again, and there's no identity with how they want to play. They have no idea with what they want to do, and it's just kind of like, and this is what pains me is you're absolutely wasting an absolute talent player like Coop Myers, because there is no set way of moving things right now. It is a complete and entitled free for all of play. And like Coop is just filling in gaps and holes where Coop is like the Swiss Army knife of the offense. And he's just kind of like, what else am I supposed to do? I have a 9 that's not able to facilitate play. I have wingers that are constantly running into trouble that won't do proper 1-2s. I have a midfield that's afraid to carry. Like, I mean, it's just like I look at Coop Myers, and Coop Myers is just kind of like that Mario Balotelli meme. Like, why always me?
Yeah, but also, why is Coop even playing in the 10? It didn't work. We had Yildiz do it at the beginning of the season. It looked all right. Then it went to Coop, and it looked shaky. Then we went back to Yildiz for a couple games, and it looked good. And then we said, I don't care if it looks good. That's not my system. My system works this way. Coop's going to be my 10. And we've looked like absolute shit ever since we've done that. Like, this is where I throw all this blame on Mata. He's got this ego. And I hate these damn coaches that go around acting like they're some sort of savant or some sort of renaissance man. And this is the ardor we get with Mata. That means shit, because your system is shit right now, because your players are injured and losing concentration, and there's no leadership from you or anybody on the bench. So play your stupid, boring ass 4-4-2 like you're 10 years old learning how to play for the first time on the training pitch. Like, I don't care. Just play a game of football that doesn't make me want to kick a hole in my wall and lose leads constantly, because you have these individual players like Yildiz today that make these absolute brilliant goals coming from a brilliant pass from Bangula, and you just piss that shit away. And how do you think Thuram felt last weekend? Game of his life, 2 goals, and then collectively you just shit on that. And that gets in their heads. Like, Mata has to get the ego out of the goddamn way. There's too much of it right now, and I think that's the number one thing. You know, he gets all the success at Bologna, just like Gentoli gets the success at Napoli.
What success at
Bologna? He took a shit
Bologna?
team and got them into the Champions League. That's basically it.
It's a fourth place finish. That's it.
No, that's a success, but for his level. That's a success for his level, right? So Bologna getting in 4th place is a success. But now Juve struggling to get 4th place? Well, I'm sorry, man. You got to adjust. And that's where I'm throwing a lot of the weight on Mata, and Gentoli as well has to stop going off this train of, I fixed Napoli and I got a Scudetto with Napoli. I got this, bro. No, you don't have it right now, because we don't have any of the pieces that we need to compete, because there is zero depth. And you created that lack of depth by catering to this highfalutin system that Mata has. It's like we're a bunch of pretentious ass cunts in an art gallery talking about the red blob on the wall and how beautiful it is. That's where we're at right now. But at the end of the day, it's just a goddamn blob on the wall. And nobody gives a fuck, because we're not winning. We're a bunch of art show bastards with their champagne and orange juice.
Hipsters.
But like the rich, pretentious ones that go to art galleries.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's the halfway point, right? And there's still a lot more to play. Like, this team could potentially go on a run. They could get a piece or two in January. They could, right? Like, I don't want to hit here and start whining and saying the end is nigh, right? Like, I don't think that's productive. But right now, there's a hell of a lot of work to do, and I think there's a lot of egos. And part of me kind of sits here and wonders, and this is going to piss some people off, but I don't really care. But like,
we're all pissed off at some level. But sorry,
could you imagine if Max had this roster?
I could. I think about this often. I shouldn't have to. I don't want to, but I do. And we did mention it before you came on that, yeah, I mean, if Max had this roster, it's a better roster than what Max was given shit. He was given a quick, swift, he was given a swift kick in the ass out the door and basically told, your check's in the mail, get the hell out of here.
Like, could you imagine that though? Like, for example, Max running like a 4-3-3, because I know Max would have with the personnel, like a 4-3-3 of
He probably
Locatelli,
should have.
Coop,
Yeah.
and Turan.
After all, it may not be Mata's fault. He didn't sign himself for such a big club. He signed the contract. So yeah, it's like if I accept a job for something that I can't handle, even though my ego might be like, yeah, I can do this, I got it, but then I can't actually complete my job to the standard that's required of me, it is still my fault, yes, because I've agreed. That is the contractual agreement, is you will pay me this money and I will provide, because there is performance agreements in these contracts, just like in a real job. Dash, you just signed a new contract. Was there a performance clause in there at all?
Yeah, I've got tons of performance clauses and responsibilities.
So if me and Dash in our professional careers are expected to sign a contract with performance clauses in it, you best as hell be sure that Mata's in the same boat, and absolutely it's still his fault. Just like it's Vlahovic's fault for signing that. I mean, the transfer fee is one thing, but yes, he's got to perform.
And again, I'm not at all always advocating for a 3.0. Like that bridge has been torched. There's no way in hell that happens. Like I kind of want to make that clear.
No. But he says, who can manage Juve? Seriously, we're in massive trouble. I think all roads as a temporary solution, because Mata, if he continues down this road, it's temporary, and all roads lead to Conte. But we're going to have to wait another year or two for that.
All I'm going to say to Chris's comment is just remember that Gentoli and Mota have Dusan running around for 22 million a season doing jack shit. So
just remember that with Allegri, would still have Rabiot running around. Yeah.
Yeah, we have Dusan running around at 22 million gross a season, missing sitters. Yeah. So pick your poison on that one.
Yeah, it's true. And Allegri isn't perfect. But the question is, even with those imperfections, what would have Allegri done in this situation? If you gave Allegri a transfer market that Mata was given, which we cried for him to have, what position would we be in now? We don't know the answer, but we can speculate that the games would probably look like absolute hell, but we would still be winning, or be winning more. That's my opinion.
Well, and then again, like to the contrary of the Rabiot point, right? Where if someone goes up to you and says, all right, you only have a budget of 15 million for a midfielder, you're kind of like, fuck it, just re-sign Rabiot at that point. Like that's kind of what it is, right? So like kind of understanding that perspective about that too is another thing. But like, like I'm just saying, you think he would have turned down a midfield core of Coop Myers, Douglas Luiz, Locatelli, McKennie, and Fagioli? You would have loved that compared to what he had the past 3 years. And then you look at your front line too, where you have Milik, Dusan, Conceição, Nico Gonzalez, Yildiz, and Timmy Weah. Like that front six as well. I think he would have liked that. I'm not gonna lie. I think he would have been able to make something work there.
He would have. Now Italiano, we've talked about him a lot as well. How would Italiano have done? He would have been a lot more pragmatic, and I believe it would have worked to our benefit, with especially with the weakened back line. The pragmatism would have helped.
What I think, like for example, with Italiano, and I give him credit, is he's consistent. Like for example, he's consistent with Fiorentina as he is consistent the same way with Bologna. Do I think he can get you to the upper heights?
Yet to be seen. He's on his way to proving himself there. And that's why I know you said that if this was like a couple years down the road. So I think ideally it would have been we put Conte in for a year or two and then look at Palladino. At least I feel like that may have been the approach, but again, it's the egos and the mentality of where our management is, and they want to have this brand new look, everything with their collabs with NASA and Prime and everything that does not matter.
Yeah, I think Juve have kind of kind of
They've
pivoted away
lost the
from.
script.
I think they've lost kind of what they do. I think right now it's so much into the commercialization and marketing, where they're kind of like, oh, results, right? Yeah, because like part of me is kind of sitting there thinking that they're banking that Serie A is going to be trash and it's just going to be Inter and them, and then maybe Milan is like the top three, so they're guaranteed top four. But when you look at some of these other teams that are punching above their weight, I think Juve didn't forecast this. And again, I don't know how long these teams are going to maintain to punch above their weight, but I can easily tell that this was something that they didn't envision. They thought, hey, whatever, we'll probably be top four for sure because the only team ahead of us is going to probably be Inter for sure, and then maybe a
And then we
Napoli
wouldn't
or a
have 10
Milan.
injuries, blah, 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 all these things. Yeah, good. And I said it at the beginning, the best laid plans never survive first contact. Your plans fuck, man. Do something about it. I'm sorry. It wasn't your fault that everyone got, maybe it was, I don't know, but whoever's fault it was. The situation exists in that you can't win games. You're losing games now. Your players are always injured. They're getting knocks before like all these things are falling apart around you, and you're doing the exact same thing. That's what we call insanity, right? That's another trope. You keep on banging your head against a wall and expecting a different result. That's called insanity. That's what we're doing.
That's what he did at Genoa and at Spezia. Like that's honestly what he was at Genoa and Spezia when he was first starting off. Similar mistakes, similar mindsets, similar ideals. It's just that's kind of how it's been. So I don't.
The best managers, leaders, what have you, are the ones that are able to make the tough decisions in the tough times. When everything is going against them, they're able to take a step back, think of things strategically, and make adjustments, even if they're not ideal, because they're not ever going to be ideal, but it's recognizing that and doing the best with what you have. Again, that's where Allegri was good, is that, well, he was a tactical genius in that sense. He knew when to make those changes. He knew when to lock down the games and rally the troops. Again, not always perfect, but when compared to Mata, it's night and day in this situation. And I don't care how beautiful Mata's style of play is and how much more I'm actually enjoying just the general game in terms of the fluidity of it and how it does look nicer. And at least from a neutral perspective, it is a better game to watch. But as a Juventino, I don't fucking care because we're not winning. And it's just that simple. It's
and,
just that fucking simple.
And I'll give some folks like some advice here. So like for example, professional aspect for me career wise, right? I own a small business. I'm an assistant director at my other gig. The number one thing that I've had to do in my professional career is the P word, pivot. Being able to think on the fly, being able to problem solve quickly, being able to adjust at a moment's notice. That is what separates effective leaders with non-effective leaders, because someone that cannot pivot or cannot adjust will go down with the ship. Because again, I don't want to change my process or my way of doing it. It is what it is, blah, blah, blah.
Which is fine. You can go down with the ship, but why is your ship going down?
Why is your ship going down? That means you haven't anticipated all potential pathways that could sink your ship. Where it's like, for example, okay, great, my ship is sinking. What do I need to do? Do I need to cut more weight off? Do I need to refocus something to repatch this? Do I have someone with the skill set that can patch this hole and I can move them there? Can I adjust this? Can I adjust that? It's a totally different mindset, because again, like, we can talk all the smack that we want, but when we're looking at it from that perspective, and again, both Dave and myself have had roles where we oversee people and we have to look for that kind of stuff. We have to adjust for that kind of stuff. And right now, what we're both seeing is we're not seeing that adjustment at all. We're not even seeing an attempt at that adjustment.
Not. And again, changes in 80 plus minutes. The goal came at the 75th minute. You still sat there for 5+ minutes thinking about who your changes were going to be. 82nd. No, sorry. We're trying to find when it came in.
Two main subs were Dusan and Bangula. I think it was like
86th minute. Again, Like, what are you doing in the 86th minute? What's happening in an 86th minute? After you went, that's 11 minutes after you conceded a goal. That is not decision making. That is sitting on your ass and praying to Jesus or Allah or whichever deity is out there in hopes that some magical force is going to come down and make you win a game. That's not how you win games. You win games making a decision, by being a coach, by being that leader, and he is not doing that. And that is where I take extreme offense as a Juventino right now, and I need better.
What do you mean, Dave? That's how he draws 2-2 games against relegation sides.
I need fucking better.
All right.
And I mean, the money, and that's the thing, is that money down the toilet. These are good players, right? Luis, whatever, all of them. Nico, Chico, Coop. They are all good players in their own right. But am I gonna straight out like Coop? I mean, he puts in an effort. I'm not gonna say he's just sitting there not doing anything. He has his pros and cons. He's putting in an effort. Like these players individually, when they come on, are putting on an effort. Now, are they the most technically gifted? Are they able to lock things down constantly? No, but they're out there putting in a shift at the very least. I think they're just lost because there's no leadership. I mean, our captain, I love him, Locatelli, but I don't actually see any out-and-out leadership coming from him. He is that like older veteran guy that's been around for a bit and gets involved talking to the refs and, maybe organizing the midfield and a bit of the back, but he's not that staunch leader. We don't have that guy that can be like, you know what, you're it. And Danilo, as much as I love him too, not even it.
He doesn't have the experience. Locatelli doesn't
the
have
last
the experience.
guy was Chiesa. Or
no, I don't even think Chiesa. I don't even think Chiesa had the experience.
Why would I say
Chiellini?
Chiellini. Sorry, the CH. My bad. That's embarrassing. I'm sorry. But Buffon.
Yeah, and you look at those guys, those guys with the wealth of experience, been in all kinds of moments, pressure situations. It's those two are like, again, that those are the guys that wear that stuff. Even like, for example, say what you want about Bonucci, but Bonucci as well, Barzagli as well. Like the players like that have.
Even Bonucci was more than what we have. And he was pretty toxic in his style of leadership, but at least there was like a leadership style. There was something. But it's all gone. And I hope we're getting trolled right now with let's go for De Zerbi. Because I'm fairly confident our situation would be even worse.
Even worse. Yeah.
De Zerbi is not the answer right now. We need pragmatism.
Yeah, you need something to steady it out, something pragmatic and simple. Like if you give him that, you don't know where you'll land.
Yeah, and Eve's talking about the plan B. Mott has no plan B, just like Ignali not having one with CR7 and COVID. Yeah, it's short-sightedness. It's not thinking about the future. And you can say, and at the beginning, the honeymoon phase, we look at Mata, we look at all the young players, it's what the fan base has been yelling for, and we get excited. It's like, finally, we're building for the future.
No. This is where, like, for example, I kind of vibe from that opinion, because if you're building from the future, you don't spend over 200 million in a single window.
No, and I wasn't agreeing with that statement so much, because now that we see that what we have, there's no actual direction with it. Again, because there's no leadership behind that. Rebuilding as we did, I'm not going to say that was the wrong decision to maybe spend the money on these certain players.
Yeah, but if you're spending that much, you need to have an experienced person to manage all of that.
And that's what we don't have. We don't have that back end management. Because and that's the thing that people don't realize day to day, right? It's just like you hop on a plane and go across the world. How many thousands of people did it take for you to get on that plane to go across the world, right? Same with a football team. How many hundreds of people are behind the scenes working together to make it happen? If you don't have that leadership right from the top to sort things out, It doesn't matter if you're as large as like the United States government or you're running a cafe bistro like Dash over here. None of it works without a dude at the top sorting shit out, making things happen.
Right, let's give Mata a second center back, and then we should judge. Okay, that doesn't really. All right. Okay, give him a second center back. Okay, then what?
I'm judging now. I don't give a fuck. I'm judging. That's the way it is.
No, but seriously, and then what? You give him a second center back, and then what? That's not going to fix what the issue is. Because then, if we give him a center back, then the argument's going to be, oh, well, that center back's trash. Oh, that center back is this, or oh, that center back is that. No. It's again, he has to be able to pivot with what's in front of him. Because like we gave him a midfield, we gave him a brand new front line, we gave him additional pieces in defense.
It's time for him to make the adjustments.
With all due respect, when Milan won the Scudetto, Kalulu was a center back, not a right back. When Kalulu had his best season at Milan, he was a center back. He was playing next to Tomori.
We have a good enough team to not be doing what we're doing. Milan played like shit today. That's the thing. It's not like Milan came out and completely dominated us and we crumbled. We are playing shit teams, or teams at least that are playing like shit. And we somehow, with all our individual skill, with all the money spent, we still somehow find a way to play worse than the shit that we're presented with. And that's not okay. And Babatunde saying we need Gasparini. We've talked about this as well in the past. He's a hard man to deal with. And Juve, unfortunately, because they're so corporate, they don't like these, let's say, anti-corporate type guys. I think just the relationship between club and coach just wouldn't work out with Gasparini. Same with Conte, but Conte is at such a level that you kind of put up with him for a year or two because you're going to get the results. Gasparini is not at that level. And I just don't see the marriage happening with Juve in particular. Or most other teams, honestly. He's a specific profile for a specific type of team. Yeah. That being said, I mean, I respect what he's done. He's great for Atalanta. He's done great things with them over the years. And he should be given the respect for doing that. I just don't think
it's difficult because, like, for example, with Alejandro Gomez and Illich, I think it was Josip Illich. Those were issues where it was manager versus players, and the club chose the manager. It was like the club's gonna forever back him. Like I don't see him leaving Atalanta. He essentially has free reins at Atalanta. Yeah. It would be stupid. It would be extremely stupid for Gasparini to sit there and be like, yeah, I'm leaving Atalanta.
He's got a good thing going. No sense. But I mean, even Coop on the way out, right, had to make up mental injuries to get them to sell him. They're just that's how they're like that. But I mean, still great for what he is. Vincenzo, thing I'm shocked about with Conte at Napoli is how De Laurentiis hasn't said peep. Because Conte went in there and this is what he does. He probably went to De Laurentiis and be like, listen, this is my team. You want to win, you let it do it my way. Otherwise, I'm the fuck out of here, and I got the track record to prove it. And De Laurentiis was probably he probably respects that because De Laurentiis is like that, and he's probably like, you know what, man, you got it. I respect that, but you break my trust, and you're out of here. And it's on a knife edge. But as long as Conte is doing his job and continuing to be at the top of the table, I don't think De Laurentiis says shit.
It's fine. Conte, what really happened is Conte cucked him and then pegged him with a strap on.
Yeah, that's it. He basically out-dominated De Laurentiis.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's it. It was two alpha dogs that you put in the ring, and you know the other one got the jaws around the neck and was like, "You're mine, bitch. This is how it's going."
Yeah.
That's the situation over there.
That's how that went down.
Yeah. All right, guys. I mean, if you haven't already, like and subscribe. It was a good showing today. Appreciate it. It did not turn out how I wanted, of course. And the sun's shedding. I gotta. Oh my God! See the words. The words are failing me now. I've yelled for too long.
Hit the music. Hit the music.
Oh man, where would Conte be with this team? We would have probably lost today, but would be in first in the league.
Yeah, and we'd be out of Coppa Italia in the Champions
We'd be
League.
out of all the Coppas, but we'd be in first place in Serie A.
In the league. And we would be bitching about it. That's where we would be.
Exactly, would still be bitching. Okay, well, guys, going forward, we're still trying to organize that midterm report tomorrow. I'll just tell you who I've been talking to. They may or may not all show up, but just a little bit of insights. Al from All Juve Cast, Gio from Juve Corner Cast, and Three Ventinos podcast as well. So Aussies, trying to get the Aussies more involved. The time, we're all in different time zones. It's a bit of a mess. Just stay tuned. We're trying to get something that works out for all of us. There will be no game watch along stream on Monday because we lost. And you know what? As for Sunday, I don't know. Me and the boys will talk. See if we're available Sunday night to do a little call-in show as well for you guys. What if we win the Champions League? Then I mean,
everything is fine and dandy.
Yeah.
If
then I lock myself in a closet and never speak a word ever again.
Exactly. I retire.
Yeah, we retire. We're done.
We retire because I put all my money on Juve winning the CL.
Oh man. All right. Well, Dash, thanks for popping in, so I didn't have to monologue. He had a little bit of a back and forth. I'm starting to hate the sound of my own voice because I'm just saying the same shit constantly. But
it's all right, buddy.
I appreciate you, man. All right.
All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning into this shit show of a Coppa Italia. Just kidding. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Unfortunately, not the result that we wanted, but we move on. And like you should move on to that like button. And all the new people that we saw today, hit the old subscriber Rooney for more shenanigans and comedic content. And on that note, we're out.
Good night, everyone. And man, great stream. Thanks for all the participation. Hope to see everyone here in the future.